Hello, everybody. We are back for the 3D Printopia recap. So, this one's going to be a little bit different than previous recap streams because I actually have several group members here with me today. So, and they're already here. So, rather than me normally I like to do like an intro where I just talk and kind of get you guys warmed up for the guests, but the guests will actually be coming in throughout. So, we're just going to try and roll with the punches. Also, I have generally less stuff to show on screen and way more to show in person. So the actual like presentation is very bare bones looking, and I apologize for that. So I am going to now stop doing my intro stuff and I'm going to move in because our first guest is Josh from JRT3D. How are you doing? You're everybody should be able to hear you now.
I'm good, doing good. Little exhausted, just trying to settle back into normalcy from spending 6 months prepping for 4 days, and will likely take another month to get back situated. But we're excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's I think it's cool because last year I think you came in like towards the end and you were just like, "Oh, hey, I'll stop in." But this time you're here beforehand, which is what I was telling people as we got in as everybody got in here. So this time you'll have more time to just talk. So like I mentioned with like I said to everyone. So I don't have a lot on my actual screen. Instead, I have a lot physically to show off. This was a very physical conference for me. Previously, I've like met a lot of really great people and talked about a lot of really great stuff, and I saw stuff. But this was the first. I think because this is like either my fourth or fifth rep rap. I think this is the least that I've been like a kid in a candy shop where I'm just like in awe of everything that's happening. And that's not to say that cool stuff didn't happen. It's just like a lot of the coolest stuff that I've seen in the past, I had already seen before. And so instead of me being excited to see it, I was excited to catch up with people like Hendrix, the guy that does the electroplating. Like beforehand,
Yeah,
I was
he's
like, "Oh,
awesome.
I can't wait to see this stuff." But instead, this year, I was like, "I can't wait to like catch up with my friend." And like he and I were just talking about my Crocs. So like I don't have anything to show because like I already showed off the electroplated benchy last year, but like I got to see him and talk with him, and that was cool. So like that kind of thing is gonna happen a lot for me at least. So I don't know about you, but I didn't really have many like physical takeaways. It was mainly just like social takeaways, I guess. That's kind of a really awful way of describing it. Also, the camera's a
No,
little bit weird
that's
down
not at
here. That's
all.
that's me.
So yeah, I'm currently going through photos to send you real quick, just so you've got some stuff to showcase on my side too.
Yeah, I've already
But
got some pictures up too, and I don't know if you have the stream pulled up, but
I have the stream pulled up and muted. Hopefully, things aren't cross-contaminating each other. But
no, you're fine
yeah,
right now.
no, I'm watching you on one side. We're plugged in on the other side. Thank you for making me feel a little younger than I feel some most days. So
I total
keep me paid.
aside, that was the fun. That's always the funniest thing about these rep conventions is that I go and everybody's like, "Wow, you're so young," and I'm like, "That's crazy," because online I'm starting to get a little older. Like VTubers in general are a little bit of
Yeah,
an
yeah,
older
yeah.
crowd. So to
I
talk,
feel you.
to talk to all the rep people, I feel like a baby talking to you guys sometimes. It's very funny, but I'm
Um,
glad that I can help you feel a little bit younger.
Oh yeah, so like anything else, like the rep rap 3D printing crew, I guess in general is like, started 25 years ago, right? So if you think like most of those guys were in their 30s and 40s, they're now in their 60s, right? And
Hi,
so
Viduko.
and it's mixed in with a bunch of guys in their 40s and then a bunch of the young guys, so we got the old bloods and the young bloods. So um it's I don't know how you feel, but this was, again, I keep referring it to as my senior year. And it's kind of suiting that the Rep Rap Festival is leaving the college and going to Philadelphia next year to uh you know uh, right now Maryland at the college they can facilitate 20,000 heads, but the
Oh, the
facility
Philly
in
Convention Center is huge. So
yeah, so that's
I've been there
2,000
for a
heads.
couple conventions. I was there for, I believe it's the same one that Fan Expo is at, and I was there for Fan
Yeah,
Expo 2 years ago. Long, long time channel viewers remember when I did my first Luigi cosplay at Fan Expo. So it's been a long time since I've been there. I'm honestly, we could probably save a lot of this talk for like the final thoughts, but I'm both excited and disappointed that it's moving to Philly. I should be happy because
sure.
it's technically closer to me, but because it's closer now, it doesn't it's like, do I make it a day trip or do I get a hotel? And if I get a hotel, then ironically enough it adds to my cost, not subtracts from my cost. So it's like it's kind of in a weird like middle ground, cuz like if I went to um the thing afterwards, the reception afterwards like I did this year, I would
Sure.
be
Yep.
getting home at like midnight and then waking up the next day to try and like drive in.
No,
Um
I feel you, dude. Like we had a 12-hour day for us, and that's just on the road. So we pretty much hit up like every McDonald's every hour on the way. It's not that, a Dunkin' Donuts, something in between. But yeah, it really helps to have a trek plotted out, kind of know, do you have friends or family around the way? And like anything else, now you're going to this place. It's become kind of like a summer camp for like most of us, and so you meet people in the area and along the way. I'm kind of happy to be going to Philly. Like I have a long time childhood friend that I don't get to see too often, and he lives in Philly. So for me, that's gonna feel like just having, again, family, having that relationship around for that long for me. So I'm looking forward to it on that stance. But the days do get quite long and exhausting, especially if you are traveling and depending on how you like to do that type of thing. That's what keeps me away from Earth and and traveling out there. That's a little more of a distance for me, and that doesn't sound as accommodating and fun as I would like it to be as far as like a venue is concerned. So
yeah. Oh man. So yeah, then I think now would probably be a really good time for, so I'll start with
and yeah, I
kind
just
of
blasted you
my stuff.
over all my slideshow photos. So you do your thing, and if you want
I
me to go live at all,
I threw a few into the PowerPoint and I gave you your own slide, but
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not going to stop you if you want to like jump in and talk about some of the stuff. So
sure.
originally I was like, "Oh, I'm going to talk like day by day," but I honestly don't think it makes a lot of sense looking back at it to go day by day, because day 1 and day 2 kind of bled into each other. I was doing a lot of the same stuff on day 1 that I was doing on day 2 and vice versa. So,
So
um
you actually got to play with the TPU ball.
Oh, I can't. So, oh man, I can't wait to talk about that. Okay, so um, I'm not exactly sure what I'm allowed to discuss and what I'm not allowed to discuss. So I am going to keep some of the stuff tight to my chest, and it's gonna sound awkward, but the video that comes out on Friday on my channel is one of the biggest that I've done, and that is the 3D printed croc video. And that one is sponsored by Polymaker. I think I talked about it a little bit, but when I was looking at the footage, actually, I'll talk a little bit about the crocs because I think they're the coolest thing. And they're what everybody was like so excited to talk about at 3D Printopia. So, first off, please watch the full video when it comes out on Friday. Give it all the love and attention. that you can, because I have put the bulk of my last, I would say, 4 months into this video, so I really want it to do well. Also, since it is sponsored, I want to show that I'm like a channel that's worth collabing with, so I can get more sponsorships. Um,
Nah, man, like that's half the beauty of getting to the rep. You know, you mentioned it's kind of like, you know, you're not trying to be selfish or anything, but dude, it's marketing. Like, you know, I didn't want to put a lot of the money that we put into the show, and again, that's time and effort to get there. But you're pushing either something that you're pushing for either your own project, your channel, a collaboration. But you know, that is what makes the show what it is, right? So for us going there, you're showing off your Crocs, you're pushing a brand that is again something for the people. Dude, 3,000 heads went through there. Like they saw your shoes, you know?
Yeah, yeah. So the big thing for me is, so I'll kind of give a little bit of an overview of the Crocs and what I've been doing behind the scenes, because on stream I've been a little bit coy with what I've been doing because I've been saving up for this and I wasn't sure what I was allowed to discuss and what I wasn't. But Polymaker is really good, so they really didn't, I made a joke in the video. They gave me, quote, a blank check for this, for their sponsorship. They were basically like, here's the filament, go make something cool as long as you mention our name, and we want it to be new and different. We don't want you to just make somebody else's video. So they were very nice and worked very well with me. So this video will come out on Friday, and it will go into detail about how I made not only well, these Crocs will be in the update video when I talk about 3D Printopia, but the Crocs in general will be the full video that comes out on Friday. So that will talk about the Miku and Teto Crocs, which I don't have here because they were in the Anime NYC video that came out 2 weeks ago, before the show. But the final conclusions in that video, which, I mean, you can obviously tell here, the video was, or the Crocs were so successful, my first try, that I decided to wear the sampled shoes as Ace Gamer Crocs. And once Dreams comes in and talks about his stuff, so he has his sponsor block for his Printoblock printer, and I was like, what if I called it Sponsor Croc? And so Dreams and Josh both paid for little gibbets on the shoes, and sponsored the little pieces on the Croc. I also had to put my own logo, which I gave out as little keychains as well. And I'll have a video coming out with those in better detail, because I'm very proud of how the logos came out. So this one is with Polymaker's Co-PE, which is actually what they sponsored the video for. The TPU was kind of just gravy on top of it. But the Co-PE, I'm actually going to be showing off how I calibrated the Co-PE for my Bamboo A1 following my calibration suite that was also in a previous video, which is, like I said, that was the thing that Polymaker was like, that's cool. They really liked my calibration video, and that's what sold me. So this is like the coolest part. I talk about how I made the gibbets, and I talk about how I made the Crocs, really all of it.
Giblets.
So I am very excited for that video. And one thing that I like to do, and I've gotten better at it as I've done more videos, is every video ends with the next video already halfway done. And like, I do every video to make me better at something for the next video. So you can now that like my summer trilogy is over, you can kind of see exactly what I'm saying with the videos that came out. So in, I think it was March or April, I posted the Bamboo A1 review video, and you guys know it was very negative, got very reamed for that in the comments. But the reason that I was very negative, open about my negativity, was because I had the upgrades video planned, and the upgrades video specifically targeted every complaint that I had with the printer. And the upgrades video actually served two different purposes. One, it got me more in tune with how the printer printed, and I was able to slowly calibrate the printer as I did the upgrades. And then, as well as that, I was able to actually make the calibration video. And now the calibration video actually ended up launching first, and then the A1 upgrade video published second. But in terms of the actual timeline, I finished the upgrades video first, and then I finished the calibration video after. But I posted them out of order because, well, chat asked me for the calibration video first, and Polymaker wanted the calibration video. So I ended up posting the calibration video first, and then I used the calibration video as my advertisement to Polymaker. I was like, hey, I would love to take this calibration video that I made and do it for your co-PE. And then they were like, that's cool, but we've had people talk about this filament beforehand. Is there something new that you could do, or some like topic that you could bring to this? And that was when I had the Miku video come out in May, and I had all of Miku month. And I talk about this in the Croc video, so I'm just giving you the background. But in May, while I was working on those two A1 videos that I discussed, I was planning my cosplay for Anime NYC. And that's where I was in a call with a buddy, and I was like, I want to cosplay Hatsune Miku, but I don't know what to do for the shoes, because I don't want to just wear regular shoes. I want it to be, and he was jokingly was like, well, why don't you just print them? And I was like, wait a minute. 3D printed shoes is something that I've wanted to do since I started printing. Why don't I actually do it? And then I was like, wait a minute, I'm going to Murph. Why don't I try and pitch this printed shoe video to Polymaker, and then I can make the gibbets out of co-PE, and it's like everything kind of worked together. And I think it's way cooler now to look at the summer, because everything very clearly leads into the next thing after, and now you can kind of see that grand master plan that I had the whole time and how everything like fit together. And now all of my like in progress videos are out. I have, obviously I'll make a full video recap, not just a stream recap, for 3D Printopia.
Well, I got some stuff to learn from you there, buddy. Maybe I got to get you on point with some of my own content, or maybe guiding me along how I should be producing, because I got to get back on point. So
I think the sweetest thing was when I followed up with Polymaker in person at RepRap or 3D Printopia. The representative from Polymaker, he said, he was like, I can't believe the level to which you've planned this all out. Like, everything very clearly slots into, like, it's even planned out to, like, I had the short that came out yesterday and the short that comes out tomorrow lead into the video that comes out on Friday. And he's like, that is crazy level of planning for that.
You're telling a narrative in a story.
Yeah, because
stuff that they don't have to do, you know?
Oh, hey, zombie.
Zombie maniac jump scare.
Hey, so we are right in the middle of talking about 3D Printopia. So, what's up?
As expected.
Yeah. Here, I'm messing with your volume because you're really loud. So, anyway, to go back to what I was saying. So, yeah, I please give those videos all the love that you can. If you're interested in Polymaker filament, tell them Ace sent you. And if you want to take your filaments to the next steps, I've got my calibration video, and then I got my croc video. I think the croc video is going to be the coolest because it apparently people really struggle with TPU, and I don't
also,
like.
You're gonna not to jump in, but so like now I don't know if you saw the talk after my talk on Saturday, but David, Joel Telling's producer from 3D Printing Nerd, he now has his own brand of shoe. You know, it's not TPU. It's some sort of, you know, I believe they're doing powder printing with it, right?
Oh, so they're doing
got,
an SLA one where it's sintering the powder.
Yeah, it's like more. I would say it's more of foam, right? Like, I'm not sure what they've
Yeah.
got for foam
Oh
powder
man,
printing now,
hold on
but
to
the
that
thing, you
thought.
know,
I am
yeah,
gonna mention that in like 20 minutes. But yeah,
sure,
no, that's
yeah. Sorry,
exciting.
sorry, not trying to
Oh
blow
no, I'm
anything,
excited because it leads in.
smoking up
We're
on you.
mentioning every. This is a great overview of what we're going to talk about.
Yeah,
So
good. All
this is
right, keep
awesome.
going, guy. Then.
So apparently TPU is really well. TPU has always been really challenging, but
Sure thing.
as I've gotten older and I've gotten newer printers, I found that TPU prints like amazingly on some of the modern printers, but um, apparently that's not the case. Like people still really struggle with TPU. So ironically enough, the new and novel and cool thing more so was just the fact that I printed with TPU. Not even that I had
Sure.
shoes. People were just like, "Wait, are those made out of rPET?" And I'm like, "No, they're made out of TPU." And they're like, "How did you get TPU to print like that?" And I'm like, I used my calibration suite and printed the TPU like that. I think I did 50% speed, and like I really didn't do anything that crazy, and so it almost makes me feel bad because I'm like they're so excited and I didn't even do anything that crazy. It like
I would say CPU has gotten some brands have gotten better, but then it's also the machines. So you got to think like we went from the majority of like Bowden that don't have dual, you know, it's mostly if you
oh
have
yeah,
a
and then the
direct drive.
A1 or and then all of Bamboo's machines launch with single geared extruders, and you're like, what the heck? Like I thought we were over this, but
But yeah, dude, I feel you. Like, I hated TPU for the longest, and I've actually just been doing some local production runs, specifically all in TPU, and some machines just
can't
love
handle
it, and then some don't.
So yeah, that's the shoes. The shoes will have their own dedicated video on Friday, so I won't go too much more into it. I just will say please go and check them out. But there were a lot of companies who also really liked the work that I did with Polymaker, and so I'm going to be fully transparent with this. I'm going to show off some of the stuff I was given. I can't tell you what videos I'm working on with the stuff. I don't even know if I'm really supposed to show off the stuff without the video, but I want to give them a shout out for investing in my content. And also, some of them said they would watch the stream, and I want to give them a shout out because I don't know if they're in the audience or not. So I will be showing off some stuff that I was given as like a here, this is for sponsor. So when it comes to those videos, you'll be like, oh, Ace got those at 3D Printopia. That makes so much sense. So I will be like, I got this. It is going to be cool, but I don't have the actual like stuff done for what it's going to be yet. And in some cases, I'm still in the middle of pitching an idea to a company. And oh,
Sure
thanks for
thing.
stopping by, Cynthia. Take care. But I'm in the middle of like they a lot of
Divulge those secrets too fast, guy.
yeah, a lot of companies really liked the work that I was doing with the TPU shoes, and so I 2026 might be the year of TPU for me or rubber filaments. So I don't really know,
There
but
you go.
I had some ideas that Dreams and
Time
Zombie and I
to
had come up with before I went, and I basically just sold the ideas. And so now I've got my next couple months set up, which is really exciting.
you can start shredding up some tires and get that into your art me.
Oh man, when I was at ACS in August, I talked to some of the leading guys from the polymer chemistry thing because tires aren't a thermoplastic, and so or most tires aren't a thermoplastic, so they can't be remelted down. So uh,
They just end up like
you wish you
barriers
could.
in the earth for
Yeah.
yeah, but they make really good like eco house frames, right?
But somehow Goodyear is working on a thermoplastic tire. I never heard any
Okay.
updates on it, but they started it in 2021, and I was very interested in that because I didn't know that tires could be a thermoplastic. Cause
Yeah, that
so there's two
probably
different,
went full patent pending and he's
or
you're
they
not gonna
might
hear
have given
anything
up on
from.
it because so the
Yeah, that's true too.
there's for those that don't know, there's two types of two ways that a plastic can be created. There's thermosets and then there's thermoplastics. Anything that can be remelted and reformed, so like a 3D printing material, is a thermoplastic. Anything that is set once, like it's a liquid resin and then it's set once, it cannot be remelted, that is a thermoset. And a good example of like a thermoset would be like the cables on your like wires and stuff like that.
What
The coating.
would multi-part epoxy be that?
Yes, epoxy is a good example of a thermoset plastic. And so like if you start to heat them up, they'll turn black and char. They don't melt down like a candle, for example. Thermoplastics will melt down like a candle, but thermosets will burn. Most electronics are made out of thermosets because the big advantage between the two is that thermosets have a much higher heat tolerance than thermoplastics. I mean, obviously, because they don't melt. So they're used. That's why they're used in tires, because tires get really hot from the friction of driving. So that's why they're made from thermosets instead of thermoplastics. That's your fun polymer chemistry lesson from Dr. Gamer.
I mean, I always appreciate that you've got the academia aspect to it. I hardly got out of school. Not that I can guess your knowledge, but it's always I'm I've had a hard time in my life understanding things and getting people to be able to express them to me so that I can understand them, because it would be nice to be able to understand things, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So like at the end of the day, it's just again nice, like if I catch a perspective from you or a certain way you're describing it, if like I know it's coming from that education perspective where, like, even if I do end up rebuttaling you to get you to like get me to understand it, I know again it's like coming from a good perspective where it's just like, all right, nice.
It's so funny when people talk to me and they hear that I'm a PhD student and they're like, "Oh, Ace is, like he's doing all this 3D printing stuff and he's getting a doctorate for it." My doctorate's in water desalination. I don't do any research professionally in 3D printing. All of it is self-taught. The polymer chemistry stuff that I know, I worked at a recycling plant for a year, and the guy that owned the recycling plant taught plastic chemistry. He taught plastic chemistry.
It's part of the journey, though, right?
He taught plastic chemistry at a community college and then just taught me the classes. So all of this stuff is kind of self-taught. So like people are like, "Oh, I bet you're doing all this crazy stuff for your doctorate." And it's like, "No, I'm doing something completely different." But so you mentioned polymer chemistry, or it got brought up. This is kind of jumping way ahead because this is the last thing that I got. And I'm glad that
we gotta stop 20 minutes ahead of ourselves.
I'm glad that Dreams is here because this is because of him. But
Sure.
I was at the booth and the guy from Gloop, I believe his first name is Andrew. I'm really bad with names, so sorry if anybody's watching and I'm like the guy from blank or the girl from blank. But that's how I remember everybody's faces, not their names. But the polymer chemist from Gloop was there, and Dreams is talking to him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, Ace still uses hot glue for his 3D prints." And the guy looked at me like I had just slapped him in the face. And I was like, "Hey, I'm sorry." I was like, "Hey, I'm a college student. I can't afford Gloop. Like, I'm sorry." And he goes, "All right, well, here, stop by the booth and I'll give you a bottle." So this is Gloop. He said what I should use it for is, and I said I was done with the Crocs, but I need them again for this one thing. So in order to make the Croc gibbets, I actually had to glue them in place because the holes don't flex like regular Crocs do. They're more rigid. So I actually had to hold the backing in with one hand and glue the top in with the other. And the super glue, I was really nervous, would glue the gibbets in place so they wouldn't be able to spin like this. but I got lucky and they didn't. That would be a great thing for Gloop because Gloop
You
actually only sticks to PLA. It's scientifically made to only work on PLA, which is really
do you
cool.
consider yourself a I want to say a crafter rather than a maker. Do you feel like an artist rather than a producer of 3D printed prints?
I I don't know. I actually so it I can't spoil it, but the idea that I pitched for the next big video is actually why um is actually why I think I've switched that mentality around. I used to look at 3D printing as an artist, and I used to look at 3D printing like I need to I need to look at these new videos as what can I add to like the artistry of it. But instead I for this next video that's not next in chronological order, but the next big video that I'm working on, I actually approached it from a maker's point of view instead of an artist's, and I think that it's going to lead me to a much better solution than if I had looked at it as I need to be like an artist and come up with something like new and interesting visually. Instead, I'm like, how would I solve this if I was an engineer? Like engineers are problem solvers. So
Hmm.
like, what's a way that I can solve a problem? But yes, Gloop has PLA in it. No, I don't know if it has PLA in it. I know that it is specifically engineered so that it will only glue PLA together. And I talked with the polymer chemist of the Gloop team, and he and I shared some stories about what we think is going to work and not work in certain areas. I told him a little bit of the stuff that I have been doing um, on recycling outside of what I've shown on the channel and what I've done with Recreator, and he and I were telling each other about like stuff that's kind of outside of what anybody here would understand. So I don't want to go too far into it because but we were talking about like weak axes and cleavage points, and I don't think that that's anything to discuss on stream. But it was very
Hey now,
cool to
man.
talk to somebody else about polymer chemistry on a level, on a higher level there. So that was very fun, and thank you very much to Gloop for providing that bottle. I'm not exactly sure how I'll use it, but it is definitely going to get used. And it is good stuff from what I've seen. Again, the only reason why I haven't had it on the channel is just because it is a premium product, and I'm not some I'm on a budget, so I don't often get the time to I don't often get the chance to spring for premium products here. But it is a fun opportunity when I
It
get
is
to.
premium.
Yeah,
It
I
is.
mean, Prusa has a place in the market, and I would say they're a premium product. There is
Sure.
something to be said about buying a good product. It's just I'm a college
Oh
student,
yeah,
so
yeah, 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 yeah. No, it's I feel you. Like, and at the end of the day, like, I wanted to say that every tool that we use in being a creative person goes the distance. So regardless if you're using Gloop or a hot glue gun, the hot glue gun can serve its purpose just as much to like position something and give it good tack while some gloop is underneath it as well, equally doing its chemical bonding that doesn't happen as fast as hot glue, right? So
yeah.
like a combination of the two that works safely with each other can allow creatives to creatively adhere things together without necessarily having big two-weighted objects fall apart while you're waiting for that chemical reaction to happen, right?
Yeah, I have to see how quick Gloop dries because they say it probably says it here. I didn't think it took as long as like super glue. Keep clamped. Oh, for 15 minutes. So yeah, it does take as long as like a.
Right. So, something like your hot glue, a couple dabs of hot glue will adhere a little faster than the gloop. So if you're like, "Oh my God, I can't sit here and forcefully hold this for 15 minutes," your hot glue might do that within 2 minutes while your gloop adheres in the 15. So,
Yeah, I'll have to check it out and see how it works. I'm excited.
And just as a preemptive to throw that as some print-a-block topics for later down the road, I did a lot of combinations of some of the print-a-block connectors that we have access to now, just for a nice rigid hold of I need to piece these two pieces together while
Oh,
I'm
your
gonna print
resident
them
printer block guy
shorthand.
is going off in the chat right now. He's like, "Do not use glue. Do
Well,
not use glue."
so yeah, so now I cheated a little because Doug is saying you don't need glue, but if you add glue to that on top of it, you are getting a nice robust locking. And so that's, with a combo of gloop, but with a combo of the block connectors too, we can now join pieces that we cut in half creatively with these connector pieces that, Joe Larson from 3D Printing Professor has, gracefully graced us with within the 3D printing community. So whenever Doug decides to get in here, he can tell us a little later, but I'll let you keep going on with your schedule.
Yeah. So the thing that's been on the screen for this whole time that I haven't gotten to show yet is the airless basketball. So it is really cool. Now, I am not a basketball player by any means, but I can tell you the coolest thing about it is it feels like an actual basketball. It's like TPU is rubbery and like when you squeeze it, it will deform. This is like rigid like a basketball, but bounces really high and you don't need to put a lot of force into it. It truly is remarkable. And now this is Big Tree Tech's basketball filament. Or it's not the BF filament. It's the filament that they use to print this basketball. I believe now they call it like a PLA, like HT or something like that. It has a new name. I'd have to look it up. It used to be called BF filament, but I think they wanted it to be more than just printed basketball filament. So it has a new
Sure.
name, and it's not HT because that's their high temp stuff. It has a different name. I can't remember what it is. Um, but it's amazing. Um, I would love to get a chance to play with it at some point, but I actually my cousins play collegiate basketball, and I was trying to get them to play a game with a 3D printed basketball for a video. Um, uh, hold on. So I really want to make a 3D printed basketball video at some point. I don't know when I'll get around to doing that though. Um, but it's just super cool. And like I said, this was like the Printopia of rubber and shoes and stuff. So I wanted to show these off. Also in the background here, this will come up later. Yeah, I want to save that for later. Take a look at these cream colored shoes because this will be important when we get back to it later. I'm gonna incentivize you to stay at this stream for longer. I don't have pictures for a lot of this stuff, so we're just gonna go back to the IRL cam so I can go and I have my pile of crap here that I'm gonna go through and talk about. So
I got a big mystery pile too, so it'd be
so
fun to go through it live.
oh hey, it's the 3D printing professor.
Yeah, just
Hey. When
a bunch of places.
I'll have to let Dreams know that he's in here so that when you guys talk about Printoblock, everybody's here.
Or
So
crap, so he gets in here.
so at Midwest Rep Rap when I went with Gigi, I believe it's I know her stuff by gosh, I should have her name. Karen, what's her handle? Oh my gosh, I'm failing. She makes all the like really cute stuff. I'll have it up in the full video. Yeah, Karen Chow, I believe is her last name.
Yeah, she's so.
She is amazing. So she had these little crab pins. So every
They're awesome. Every year she does something just super cute.
Yeah, I think she had donuts at last 3D Printopia, and this
Yeah,
year
yeah, I
she
think
had
so.
these crabs, and my sister loves her stuff. So I actually grabbed my sister a blue crab and I got the red
Nice.
crab. And I definitely want to
There
show
you
these
go.
off cuz she's one of my favorite artists in the 3D printing space. Her stuff is like the coolest that I've ever seen. Um
We did a 60 seconds with Joel last year,
oh,
and
she did.
her interview just came off so awesome with him, and it was just like,
She's such a cool
yes. I think
person.
she
She just seems like genuinely like so excited
I
about
think
all
she
the stuff
did.
that she works
You were
on.
talking about how hard TPU was to print in. She did TPU duckies with little
Yes, with the
uh,
little
squeak,
squeakers.
squeaky bits, So that
Yeah.
shows you just like what you're printing with TPU. You can actually get away at doing like custom product like that.
It's very cute. I love all of her stuff. So who was it that gave us the name tags? That was the Princeps guys, right?
The custom ones, those came from Princeps. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
from Zura.
So he asked me why I wasn't wearing this during the convention, and I was like, "Yeah, well, you can blame Josh because his shirt I didn't have a place
Oh,
to
my
put it." No,
shirt with
I'm
the
kidding.
logo. I didn't wear mine to the second day. No, I mean, quite honestly, that's why I
I
didn't wear
couldn't
mine the
I
first
couldn't
day.
figure out how it worked until he showed me, and I didn't want to be like I was like, "Wait, where's the
Yeah.
magnet?" And then I realized that's supposed to like oh, that was Zura. Okay, sorry, that was Zura.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't want to admit to them that I didn't understand how it worked. So I was just
yeah.
like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Josh's fault.
Took me. It took
He will find out.
Did take me a hot minute too, so don't worry about it.
And then from Recreator, I got it's not big for you guys, it's big for me. My dad goes through a lot of distilled water, and so I get these giant distilled water bottles, and I've wanted to use them, but because I don't have the cap, they shrink when I try to expand them. And so I've needed one of these. So Josh made me a uh pressurized cap jig for those. So now I
Jig,
should be able to make a
a
lot more
gi-
pet now.
a giblet.
Yeah. That's the no, this is the that's what you call this? You call this a giblet?
No,
Oh.
no, it's just a it's just a valve pump, for your bikes, So if you need to actually like replace one or make one custom for your tire, like that's what those are. They got the glue and stuff. You would just pop a little hole in it, and because it's got that same lift that I took advantage of, putting the smaller hole in the cap, and then it forms around that. Hopefully, if not, just add a little of that hot glue that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. Yeah. But I needed one of these
Um,
because my other one works phenomenally well. I needed one for the bigger bottle. So now that's good. I should be able to make way more pet.
but
Um
they sell those for like you get two of them for like $5 at Walmart, or you can buy like eight for probably $8 on Amazon.
or if you have cool connections like I do with Josh, you can just have him make you them.
I was gonna say too, if you got a local bison, not so much of going into the winter time, but over the summer, if you got a local bike shop, they got blown tires all the time.
Oh, true. True. So,
If
moving
you're
forward.
trying to
Oh,
recreate with recycling.
yes, very true. Very true. And normally those would just get thrown out. So, moving forward into like swag that I got. So, pre at 3D Printopia last year, I stopped by the Protopasta booth, and I actually won a roll of their Nebula Galaxy PLA or something like that. Protopasta and Cookie Cat are the two companies that my sister loves. Like anytime she gets filament, she's always grabbing the Protopasta or the Cookie Cat stuff at Micro Center. And I stopped by the Protopasta booth, and I was telling the guy that works there, I was like, yeah, my sister loves this, and I was pointing to all the Nebula and all that stuff, and she was like, she loves that filament. I made her that giant dragon egg. That was a video in January, I believe, that I posted. And it is just such beautiful filament. I wish I had more stuff to print with it, but you get this beautiful filament, and then you're like, well, I could make a vase out of it or something like that. Is Cookie Cat good filament? Come back to me again. You guys keep mentioning stuff, and I'm like, damn, I'm not quite there yet. But anyway, Protopasta. Cookie Cat is great filament, and yeah, we'll talk about that later. So Protopasta, actually, I went to them and I was like, my sister loves your filament, and they're like, well, tell her this rolls on us. So they actually gave me this filament to give to Gigi, but I mean, I'm going to be making it, so technically they gave it to me. But this is that nebula filament that I've previously shown off. This is a new version of it that is a glow fluorescent PLA. And what happens is under black light, it will actually glow and like light up almost like there's an LED inside of it. Now it didn't show up that well in the bag on the show floor, but those conditions are awful. So I am going to have to take it out and like show it off in a video. So I can't show it off here, but this is a new type of UV filament. I've never shown off UV filament on my channel before, but I am very excited to do this. But yeah, Cookie Cat is great. I've been using their lavender chip throughout videos for almost 2 years now. I really like their stuff, and we might work together in the future. But I can't say anything more about that. That's getting a little bit outside of what I'm allowed to talk about. But they
Oh my
make
God, stop
beautiful
it.
filament. They make beautiful filament. I cannot get over how pretty their filament is. It'll be in the video because I took a video of their booth. They just had so much cool stuff at their booth. Oh my God, it was so cool.
I love they had that kind of like I guess it was a V stack, we'll call it, where they had all their filament displayed on it.
Yeah, I
And
really liked they had a Bulbasaur 3D printer. And they had
I
those special textured PEI sheets, the ones that give like the rainbow color on the bottom, but they
oh yeah, those
called
are
them
fun.
cookie sheets, and they had a special
That's
design on the
fun.
bottom to make it look like they had cookies and stuff on them. I'm like, that's really cute branding.
I,
They are another example of the thing that we were talking about, like with Gloop, where they are a little bit more expensive, but there's nobody else that makes colors like that.
Yeah, so but like I've been doing a local TPU product like I mentioned, and I was actually quite excited. They had some I mean, they didn't have much when they were wrapping up, but I managed to get to them and grab they only had some TPU out, but I was like, "Oh, I'm printing TPU for some local ladies." And they had a rainbow one that goes from like pink to dark purple. So
Yeah, their
the
new
ladies that
lines
I've
of
been working with.
TPU are great. I was talking to them at East Coast Rep Rap 2023, and that's when I was like, you need to have more TPUs. Oh, thanks for the follow. 3D printing professor
Yeah.
followed. Thank you for the sub, 3D printing professor. um yeah, I
Well,
won't
they
say
wanted
that
to
I
know
was
because
the
they like
one that
rainbow,
got them to do TPU, but I definitely did put I when I saw them I was like, please get some TPU, because at that time they had just done
Also, again,
PTG.
like I got some like just I think it's pink pearl or something. Anyway, it's got glitter in it, so it's not too
Yes.
often you
Yeah.
see two-toned TPU nor glitter TPU. So yeah, it's premium because it's premium. You don't see that, right? So
Yeah,
it's kind
no,
of custom.
I think Polymaker has the most consistent color hues. Cookie
Yeah,
Cad
yeah,
has one of
that
the most
goes
unique color hues that I've ever seen.
sure. But if you're doing product, consistent cues amongst that hex code that you're looking for,
Oh yeah.
especially if you're got
Hey,
a specific
guys, if you
color.
want to watch a good video on Friday, I'll be talking about this again when I talk about Polymaker. No, I have a roll of Polylite PLA from 2020, and then I have my CoPE green roll from the sponsor video, and they look identical aside from the fact that the Polylite one looks crappier because I printed it 5 years ago, and now I've gotten 5 years worth of better experience in printing. So it's a
Yeah.
great showcase of how I've grown over the years. But
Well, that's
I might
again,
get
that's
added to the
part of the rep rap.
Discord.
It's nice having you come by our booth the first year and meeting you, and you had so much joy and gratitude for me and the project, and I'm glad that we were able to have you the next year and this year. I think this year was actually one of the my favorite years. I think even Doug said the same. I mean, getting Doug across the pond and just I keep calling it my senior year. It just very. It felt like family for the first time, where I'm like, wow, we actually have our own clique, you know. And to think that you go the first year and you're like, I don't know. My first year, I'm like, oh, I know everybody, and then I'm like, I know nothing and no one about 3D printing.
Well, if you'd like to talk a little bit about your stuff, I have up on screen. I have some of the stuff that you showed off, and then
Yeah,
I can also I have saved the thing that
yeah,
I won at your booth right here, and
sure.
I will switch
Oh
over
yeah,
to
that'd be
that.
cool. Good lead in.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
also trying to give
Uh,
Dreams time to make it because he's like, please,
you're on his
please give
way.
me some time. I'm like, you got it's okay. I can yap for a whole stream. You're okay. Like,
Sure.
you doubt my
Or you
powers of yap.
Oh yeah, the like I said, senior year, it feels really nice, and the fact that they're going to Philly, it does actually feel like we're graduating from college, rep rap college. So this was our second talk this year, which was nice. We did that on Saturday, and
You talked in
my first year I
2023,
wasn't
right?
sure, yeah, but you know
Well, no,
when
I meant like it was
uh
2023. You didn't do 2024, and then you did
correct,
2025, right? Okay.
yeah, I took a gap. Just it was a lot for me to get what I got together, which was nothing. I literally had to just kind of wing it, and um, I worked on an index of stuff to talk about in the hotel room the morning of,
That's how the best
and
presentations are made.
sure, and so some people are like, "Oh, we really liked your talk the first year rather than this year, 'cause it seemed like it was more free flowy." And but for this year, I actually managed to somehow, by the grace of God, fit exactly into 30 minutes. So without even trying, I was just stoked that my talk got 30 minutes out there exactly how it needed to, while including a giveaway. Um, so it really couldn't have gone any better. But you know, we drove about 12 hours from Massachusetts down to Maryland with a full van, like a family van length, twice as much as my actual car would have fit. So
Hey, speaking of
thanks,
vans,
Mom,
hopefully Zombie it was
if you're
better than
listening.
Kirby's van, right?
You know, that's
when
funny.
we loaded up the van for by the way, I hope Kirby's in the audience and he hears this shout out. When we went to Midwest Rep Rap, we drove in Kirby's van, and it was like the most beater vehicle you could ever get. I think it was the brake line exploded. It was the
Oh
brake
no.
line, right? Right, Zombie?
uh, I'm not sure, but
I'd have to ask him.
I still have his brake pads
Yeah, because
in my
so
car.
so what he did is midway through Murph, he like replaced the brake pads at the hotel, and I was almost late to my flight, and he had to like rush to the airport to get me there because we didn't realize that we lost an hour, and like the time on the ticket was at the time that you were looking at it. So we were at East Coast time while we were in Midwest Rep Rap, but then when we went to Chicago for me to fly out of it, we lost an hour, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna miss my flight." And so he's like flying, and I got onto the plane, and he goes, "I'm glad you got onto the plane because the minute I left you at the airport, my brake line exploded at a
Oh no.
at a stoplight." He said he was
Oh
stopped at a
no.
stoplight, and then he just felt his foot like go to the floor, and he's like,
Yeah,
"Oh
sure.
no."
Scary moment.
So I'm glad
Yeah.
that
That's
you're. So back to you, Josh. I'm glad that you're. It sounds like your van wasn't that bad.
So good lead in, because you know with derby racers we don't want any breaks. We want to just keep going. So I don't know when and where, and it's just okay. So ultimately, my racer and Rob's racer from Princep,
Mm-hmm.
he had a little. His derby racer was his baby belt printer, right? And so I had
Wait,
one.
the whole printer was the racer?
So yeah, like not the actual printer, but he like made it down to like a, you know, three, you know, the scale version for derby size,
That's
right?
very cute.
So he literally did not have wheels for his derby racer, and I had purchased 3 sets of wheels, and like at 6 o'clock in the morning outside our hotel on Saturday morning, I was literally fastening all these nails and wheels attached to our derby racers so that me, Doug, and Rob could enter our sponsor cars for each one of our brands.
That's
So,
so
it
cool.
takes a team effort sometimes.
Yeah.
Um, and so to think the stuff really happens the day of the show, the second we wake up. Um, so again, I had one show person telling me that my racer won, and then another one was congratulating Rob for the same award for his racer winning, and that kind of turned into just like not a horrible squall. We turned it into kind of like a fun little thing at the end where we're fighting over the trophy, and then
Oh, here, I'll play
Doug,
the video. Sorry.
so I did a car for Doug for the Printtoblocks, and I had kept saying that I hope Doug's car wins just to make
Oh,
it
there
ironic.
he is.
And so it was just like at the end of the day, me and Rob didn't want to fight each other over it, so we got Doug ended up going back to the UK with the trophy.
Oh, so
Um,
so so Dreams has the trophy now.
Yep, and so like
Gotcha.
anything else, we had to worry about weight and sizes. So I do believe Rob kept some of the trophy in the 40/40 rails, and I don't know quite. I don't want to ruin any surprises, but Doug kind of wants to bring some derby racing over to Smurf, so there might be some sort of collaboration down the road with this video and us having some playful uh, fun with promoting the Derby racers for both 3D Printopia and Smurf down the road.
That would be very cute. I'm gonna try and get Dreams to carry me around as a VTuber on the iPad, which will make no sense
Yeah,
to
that'd be fun.
anybody here except for Zombie, and
It's
even he
okay.
won't really understand it. But it's a thing in the VTuber world where VTubers actually don't go to conventions. Instead, they're on an iPad, and somebody will carry them around the event, and that then they can
So
like.
maybe if you can convince somebody at Smurf, actually at Princeps, one of Rob's um, projects is a mobile pod that is able to be controlled by a controller over the internet, where you could technically have your face on an iPad and you could be controlling it through the internet.
That's crazy. So is Simon, is that the big like white TV
Video game
guy?
robot. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That was sick.
Simon, I got dyslexia, so for a while I was calling him, oh my God. Now I'm used to calling Simon, but I would say Simone,
Simone.
um, Simone. But yeah, so yeah, it's that's 3D printing professor's mascot, and it's only supposed to be 6 inches, and it's an articulated kind of a print-a-block style piece that he put together, and I had always wanted to just make it bigger and stick an actual computer in it.
Oh,
So
okay, I see.
at first it was a Raspberry Pi with a very small screen, and then I eventually got it to be 3 feet tall. And yeah, at the show it was set up with Bato Acera, um, which is an emulator front end for most of our favorite um, classic retro, as it hurts my soul to say, video game systems. So some
Retro.
people, it was nice actually. I left that alone and didn't tell anybody about it. And a lot of, I noticed every now and again someone managed to like pull up a new video game. So it was nice knowing that people were actually knew what it was. So the idea is Simon was built by a kid that grew up, in a trash fill landfill, where he's got all these extra parts and stuff, where he just wanted to make a magic electronic buddy. So for me, I feel almost like that kid who works with secondhand materials who made Simon actually come to life. So my first year at the Rep Rap convention, we actually met Joe. Um, he got gifted afterwards for Christmas my first version of Simon. And hopefully, the way things go with me, this one at the show is version 2. version 3 is usually when I get things released to the public for the scenes. So we hope to actually have a bomb of Simon so that other people can download it, print it, and build it like they saw it at the show.
That's really cute. Kirby was very interested in that because he's very into making.
So
He had one a like eyes that you could control with a joystick, and he's very into like video game modding and stuff like that. He does
you
custom Game
guys
Boy
are in
builds. So
your 30s, yeah?
no,
No,
no, I'm
not
not.
even
No.
babies.
No.
Oh my
All right, so
gosh.
like I grew up with like Teddy Ruxpin and you know my kid buddy or whatever they're called, but like you know, and so like for me Simon felt like that. Like there's when I gave my first Simon to Professor, I mailed it to him in like a coffin, and it almost felt like I was giving him a child, like my child, where I was like Pinocchio, you know, like and Geppetto, where I literally missed this guy sitting in the corner over here, just like staring at me, waiting for him to like play a video game on. So it's been very rewarding to be able to create another one for myself again, and I hope it can be just as rewarding once we get it into a bomb style for others to build. It had a lot of attention from kids where they're just like, again, it was like a pal and a buddy, just where it's your size as a kid when you're like 3 feet tall. Like it's awesome to have a toy that's also 3 feet tall because you're just like, this is amazing, you know, like you're interacting with something on a whole other level at that size.
Yeah, that's. I didn't know the whole story behind it. That's very cute. Um,
But yeah, so
so the Derby
also
car
just
went
wrap.
well. The
Yep,
3D printing professor
we had
stuff
our
went well.
MK6. The KB3D kits were just like the cherry on the top
How did they
for
sell?
that, and
Did KB3D
we
run out
brought
this year?
30. Yeah, so this is where starting a kit and selling a kit and making sure that like everybody's up to par with scheduling certain things. So we actually sold more than we should have, and that puts us right back into the next batch where we're waiting just a couple weeks to fulfill the next batch, but it technically puts things into pre-order, which I think is great because we sold 35. So um, that helps keep the project alive and free. That allows me to get to the shows to a degree,
Mm-hmm.
but mostly it helps with marketing and promotions. So most companies, in order for them to give a unit to somebody like yourself to promote on their show for free or to just work in collaboration, that is usually coming from a pocket of sales percentage of that. So for every good show run of printers that we're selling, I can give away like one unit. I amass enough funding from those sales where I can then find someone like you and get a kit to you. Um, so for me as a small project, that just helps immensely with marketing and
So what
being
you're
able to
saying
get
is that
people.
you were able to the amount of sales you made just from 3D Printopia meant that you were able to give away one kit.
Yep. So at the end of the day, I did a donation out of my own pocket for Saturday's giveaway. KB3D did one out of theirs on Sunday, and we also had a unit go back up to Canada, just amongst it being easier with Nero 3D, or the Canuck creator as he now goes by. Um, so it's awesome to have you know awesome leads in the community that were really interested in it. So where we can get it to people, where we can work with them, we try. Other than that, we've got the ambassador program, which you're very aware of because that
Yeah,
helps
no.
us
I
get to
what's
different.
the ambassador program?
So like you guys help us get different locations. We get to see what you're doing, just like you mentioned, working with a Polymaker and Cookie Cat. Like as a brand, and you using our brand and our creations, we love to see what you're doing because it's not something that we're necessarily doing. We get to let you do your thing, And that goes the distance with just marketing for yourself as well as us, and piggybacking off the two. So, we do as brands appreciate what people can do when we can afford to collaborate, and sometimes it's affordable to collaborate, and sometimes it's not. So,
Yeah, yeah. So I'm not sure when Dreams will be here to talk,
all
but
right.
I think now is probably a good time to move into some of the other stuff that I have to show off at here IRL. So let me transition over. So speaking of stuff given away, you will know what this is, Josh. Oh, it's rubberized on the bottom, so it's not sliding. But the Zapparoo, is that how you say it?
Zapparoo. So,
Zapparoo. Yes. So
it
I won
has it
this.
has changed from my the version that I was working with, which can happen as things go to actual commercial production. But yeah, so that is an NFC reader. Primarily, it is awesome because they have a dedicated Discord server as we're used to these days, and so that's an NFC reader that can go into, oh my God, I think they're called Mister N something. It's an emulator box. Like I mentioned, I use.
Mr. FPGA.
Yes, thank you, Zombie. Exactly. So, um, many platforms at this point, Battle PC, Windows, and many other platforms that can be attached to. And you take your phone, download the app, and then more or less you're connecting the app to your home server, and whatever your choice of emulator is attached to will catalog your files and allow you to inject the NFC card with the path to your ROMs. Ultimately, it makes what is now digital and software no longer hardware. It makes it feel like hardware. So you
That's
can
cool.
um, take those cards, and I have a bunch printed out that look like
Hey,
video
what's up?
game. So for people who like physical things, everybody a dinosaur in their 40s and above are so used to physical media, and everything transitioning into digital, and actually, it blows my mind that we have software that has emulated hardware, right? Like,
Yeah, how does it
essentially.
feel to have game consoles that you grew up with being called retro? Because I'm starting to get to that place now. People are calling the Wii retro, and I remember when the Wii came out and nobody could get it because it was like so new and cool. So like,
Yeah,
how does that feel?
I mean,
It
it's
breaks my
retro.
soul.
And
Yeah,
hey,
retro's
Dreams
like,
made it. Let me make
there
sure
he
the
is.
audio's all good. We've got a pretty
I'm
rowdy
probably
crew
old.
here now. Oh,
Yep.
good. Now I don't have to.
yeah.
Now I don't have to keep padding out. Now you can just talk
Yeah.
once we get into it. So let
Well,
me.
it's like, our next transition is like the cloud, right? Like all our information's just gonna be not even
I've been
controllable to us.
retrofitting. So I actually do have a way to transition into the stuff that Dreams is going to talk about. So let me move the Zapparoo stuff over here. But print kits. They were bought out by CookieCAD, but what they produce is printed
Yeah.
kits. It's kind of in the
What?
name. What?
Is that the right way around?
What?
It was
No,
Alien 3D that was bought out
Cocoa.
by
Sorry, Cocoa Press. We were talking
Cocoa
about CookieCAD
Press,
earlier.
and they
It's
formed
it's Cocoa
CookieCAD.
Press. Yes.
Get it right, Ace.
It's Cocoa Press. It's not even CookieCAD. You're screwing it up too. So I'm sorry. There's a
No.
lot of stuff on my mind. I'm thinking of. I've got CookieCAD on the mind because we were talking about it earlier, and now anyway, it's Cocoa Press. Anyway, they are owned together. It doesn't matter where each comes from. But anyway, the reason why I bring it up, so they make printed kits. So here they had a kit that they were giving out for a soldering jig. So you can these parts right here actually spring, and it will clamp onto wires as you're soldering. And they provide all the mechanical parts and the filament, and
Niblets.
then you can yeah, they provide all the hardware, and I believe they also provide the filament as well, and then you can print then you get to print it I mean, it's in the name, print kits. But the reason that I think this is a great lead into stuff with Dreams is that they are a sponsor of Printablock, right? I
They
say right
uh,
as if I don't already
mm,
know.
they provided well they got themselves a sponsor block that helped enable me get to 3D Printopia.
Okay, so they like
So
they
they
physically sponsored
vandalized
you.
the yes, they vandalized the printer block printer that made its way over the pond.
Yeah.
Doug,
Unfortunately, I
I
don't have any pictures of it, but I do have this. I do have this wonderful footage. Hold on.
we didn't get Doug to read us bedtime stories. That was part of our missed opportunity.
It was
So
raining and the smoke alarm was
yeah,
going
so
off.
there
Fire
it
alarm.
started raining, and then somebody pulled the smoke alarm, and so I was like, this footage is gonna be great. So hello, Dreams Void.
Hello.
How?
Real.
I mean, Dreams Void is a long collaborator of the channel, so I don't feel like I have to introduce him. I didn't really
long-term
introduce Josh
intellectual.
either, but for those of you that don't know, Dreams Void is the Printablock printer guy. If you've seen him around at Smurf or in my chat, that is what he does.
Yep.
So
I annoy Ace and I bribe him to do things.
yes, I have a whole slide dedicated to our thing, and I'm hoping that this can act as like the after. So we had the before and the during, and then this will be the after, and I'll add it to the video to get the full Arby's review. We'll talk about that later.
Oh no!
So Dreams,
No spoilers, Josh.
tell
No
us
spoilers, Josh.
tell us a little bit about what it was like for 3D Printopia, and then we'll ease into the stuff about America, and that'll lead us into the stuff about Arby's. So
Can I just say I love how Doug's already telling me to keep my mouth shut.
Yeah, no spoilers, Josh.
yeah, no spoilers.
So my question is, do I have a dedicated slide of my things?
This is it. You hadn't sent
Oh,
me anything else. I mean, so look. See,
That's what you get for being late. You didn't prep him anything.
I just went. So what I did to
wasn't asked-
what I did was I went into the Recreator Discord and I just ripped a bunch of pictures quickly from stuff that Josh had sent earlier, and then Josh sent me like I'd say like 50 different pictures and then this video in Discord. So if you send me stuff right now, I'll add it to your slides so they're not as barren.
All right.
But I figured you had like stuff to show, and so I didn't take a lot of footage of the
There was
printer
a
block
couple
printer.
of the Printoblock printers and stuff from my lot. If you wanted to grab from that.
Yes, do that because that's all I was going to do. Because even though I took printer block printers with me to 3D Printopia,
Oh, I see. I've got
I didn't myself take any or many pictures because I'm a
okay.
fool. You know, you go across the pond to a convention, and you're so excited about
happens,
being
buddy.
at the convention that you forget to take pictures of
Oh,
said convention.
you know what? We
It's
didn't
almost like
say
it's a
what
convention.
we didn't say what the printer block printer is. So
Okay,
are
you ready?
3D Printopia. 3D printing professor is here. And we talked a little
Are you
bit
ready
about the
for it?
fact that he designed the block, but not what the printer
me,
block printer is. So go into that a little
Okay.
bit.
I'm gonna send you a quick banner too, Alken. Go ahead.
The printer block printer is a 3D printer construction toy made a 3D printer made from a 3D printing specific construction toy called Printer Block.
Oh,
Printer Block is an open design made by
We
Joe
got to
Larson,
work on
the
your
3D printing
elevator
professor.
pitch.
The best way to do an elevator pitch is to say it faster. Printer Block is an open design released by Joe Larson, the 3D printer professor. Alongside the base set of Printer Block, he released a subset called Electro Block. Electro Block is a wrapper that takes Printer Block and wraps it around tools and such called like Arduino. Now, Arduino is a common board that used to be used for 3D printers. I thought, and then I said to Joe, hey, do you think we could make a 3D printer out of this? And he said, give it a go and let us know how it goes. So I took Printer Block Printer number 3 to the show, which was in part printed on 2 other Printer Block printers.
Yep.
And it worked.
So I think the
And it
big
printed
the
a
big
block.
point that I learned about the printer block printer I mean, I knew this in inherently, but I hadn't thought about it, was the fact that the Print-a-Block printer scales up, not down. Most 3D printed, because
Yeah.
it's not the first 3D printed 3D printer I've seen before,
Oh goodness,
but
no.
it's
I
It
mean,
can do both.
the
though.
coolest part about it is that it scales up. I mean, obviously it can scale down. If it can scale up, it can scale down. But the big advantage of the Print-a-Block
Sure.
printer
No, I
is
feel
that it
you.
can
the
scale
majority
up.
of 3D printers go downwards. I'm not
Yes,
going to
yeah.
throw shade on any particular one, but the majority of them print on an Ender 3 and then end up having 120 millimeter build volume, which is
Yes, yeah.
really boring and small, which is fine for doing the small, fast prototypey prints. But I was bored of seeing that, and I realized and came to the conclusion that, oh, wait, the printer block printers can get bigger.
Mm-hmm.
So I've had the 120 build volume printer block printer print parts now for both the 235, the Ender 3 sized printer block printer, and the Prusa Mini Bed printer block printer, which is
Yes.
180 by, which is 180 build volume, which is awesome and silly and daft.
And
And I
now,
think
now that they're out, now we're gonna make an ASA block printer, right?
no.
The fact that that got sandbagged means that it's a great idea. I think.
Okay, so first off, this means we need a subset of printer block called ASA blocks.
Yes, that have they're gonna
So-
have just my logo instead of the little diamond that they have.
Well, no, because then surely that would just mean that you have a sponsor block.
No, like the actual connecting piece will be my logo. It'll be like a silhouette of my logo.
No, it won't work. I mean, give it-
All right,
Actually,
keep
no,
going,
no.
keep going,
Let's-
keep talking.
Let's
about
not
it.
be negative. Let Ace
Yeah.
give it a go and let us know how it goes.
Yeah.
Let's just take the professor's mantra.
I should have brought home a printer block with me just to show off, but I'm hoping to make a printer block printer at some point. But
Yeah, you
I
can
want to
do.
do
Go for
something
it.
unique. I don't want to just
I mean,
make
why would you do it to
one.
yourself? But sure, go for it.
I do it for myself because you're gonna sponsor me to go to Smurf, right?
Good. You're
I'll
funny.
toss you 100.
Yeah, I think
Alright.
that would cover my
I just need-
baggage.
I just need a big giblet the size of your shoe.
Yeah, yeah. If I can come up with something really cool to no, what I need to do is
Hey,
I need to
man,
hit the ground running
Sponsored
for
baggage goes the distance. You just needed some more sponsored baggages.
fair
Yeah.
enough, fair enough. What
I
I would
mean,
like
you
to
don't-
do instead is go to Rocky Mountain because I heard that that one's like the second
Ooh.
coming. So maybe we'll see. I don't know.
At
I
this-
don't know
at
about
this
very
point,
much
yes.
traveling. Yeah.
Maybe
It's
I'll
weird
go.
though, because Midwest Rep Rap was fun, and 3D on Rocky Mountain's one of the ones that I haven't gone to yet. I can't tell which I like better, honestly, because Midwest this year was so good that it completely changed my mind on Midwest Rep Rap, and I'm like one of the only people left defending Midwest Rep Rap. I was like, it was really fun. And then I have an
Yeah.
excuse to go and see Zombie, so it's like I can't not go. But yeah, I hear a lot about how good Rocky Mountain is from everybody.
Yeah, I'm not gonna talk to you anymore about Murph.
Murph was interesting. I really liked it this year, but that's because I got a lot of free stuff, and I got to go with my sister. Which that's the benefit of it being in Philly next year is that Gigi and I will be going, not just me going. Because normally I go with Mike, but he's not into 3D printing, so he like heads out. So normally I do Printopia solo, but next year I'll probably be doing Printopia with her, which I think will make me love Printopia. So
Fun when
anyway,
you have somebody else to bang around with.
oh yeah, and somebody that's like actually interested in this stuff too is cool.
Into it, not just like, can we leave like 20 minutes ago?
I like Mike because has that mentality. Sorry if anybody from Prusa is watching, but one of the things that I love to do is grab as much of the free filament as I can.
Real.
Dude,
Yeah.
that is my
You
favorite
set up
part.
that Prusa
Okay,
booth
now
so many times.
dude, I just hover at the Prusa booth. So, let's talk about the
Like, can you
Prusa
just
booth.
take this and get away from me, please? Like,
I love. I genuinely never get to use Prusament filament, and unless it's what I get at Printopia. So I take this as an opportunity.
Premium.
Yes, it is. It's freemium. So here is
Well, for you, it's premium.
here is half of the filament that I got from Prusa. I have a little bit more in my bag here. I could pull
I
out
would
if you
say
don't.
their filament is probably the most premium.
I don't know. It prints good. But
I
so
have
that
a roll of their Galaxy
cost
Green.
wise.
so
that I
so thank
traded.
you for Prusa for unwillingly or unknowingly sponsoring this video. So they knew I was coming because they changed up the way that they do their Prusament. It used to be where every
Because they took all their filament away from you.
yeah, they had way less there, and I felt bad taking it because I was like, I'm genuinely taking it away from other people. So
no,
I didn't
they
didn't
have
go as crazy as I normally go. This is kind
They
of
have
like
a picture of you behind their booth. Don't give filament to this kid.
yeah, they do.
This guy
They're like Ace
is-
will mob all the film. But see, here's the thing though. A lot of people take these samples and they sit on a shelf. You guys have seen on my channel. I actually I use all of the samples that I nab at
you should
these.
be using these to print some Printoblocks.
Well,
Yes.
you're getting ahead of
Samples
it.
are the perfect thing for printing printer block.
Also, there's a cool feature with the AMS where if you load in a sample spool, when it runs out, it'll use up the entire thing, and then
Yes.
it'll send you a text. So I actually will print. I went through. They used to come in packages of 2, where each color would come with a roll of the black Prusament. And I
That's
had
fun.
a ton of the black Prusament, and I used it up on some of the projects that I did over the summer that have already been out on the channel. And you didn't even realize it. I had those out. But the 3 Prusament rolls that I got were the Prusa Orange, which this one I actually might save because this is the Prusa Orange, the one that like makes all their printers. Some more Pristine White, which I've already shown off on the channel, so that's not super new. But the Prusa Galaxy Black, this one I was so excited because this is the one that has the sparkles in it. So I made sure to grab as much
Is
as
that
I
what
could.
I ended up with? I got some sort of Galaxy from that filament swap.
Oh, okay.
Eller. I don't know what brand it is though. I think Rojas or something like that.
I
don't know
am
the name
not
of it.
sure actually. I don't know what you grabbed. Oh wait, did you grab one that was like from that company that made the skin, or no? Was that a different one?
Yeah, something similar.
Okay, well I have that in my pile of stuff, and I was going to mention that a little bit later. So we completely interrupted Doug. I'm going to go back to the.
We're just doing that, right, Doug? You hate me. See, we interrupted him. He's gone now.
He's like, screw it. They're yapping. Oh, he shot me a message. Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Dreams. Okay, there you are.
True.
So how do you think the convention went macro? Like, how was it?
Overall, I'm incredibly happy with it.
Good.
Like getting to expose the printers. Let me hang on. Getting to expose a whole new audience to the printers. Yeah, not just exposing the printers, a whole new audience to said printers was really fun.
Mhm.
And just the reactions from people were just like, "Whoa, wait, what?" I just love that. It's great. It's ridiculous. It's great.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Now I have
Yep.
I have a really good follow up question. How was
Go on, then.
Printopia compared to Smurf? Now I'm not saying like which was better. I genuinely just want to know a comparison. Because I don't think that any convention is quote better or worse than the others. I think it's trade offs of what you like and what you don't like. So I want to know what
Yes.
your factors, good and bad, about Printopia were.
So it's got a similar issue as to what Smurf 24 had, where these smaller makers were separated from the larger sponsors,
Mm-hmm.
which
I
hope.
never even got up to the top floor.
Yeah, I got a quarter of the way around the top floor, and then I got distracted.
I'm so shocked that you got distracted. Oh man.
Shut up. I'm not distracted. You're distracted. Yes. So
Feels.
it's got a similar issue which they will be resolving for 3D Printopia 26,
Yes.
which I am very much looking forward to that being fixed because my goodness, there's what's his name? See, this is the problem. You meet cool people who do similar things to you. There's a guy who has a 3D printer, and I don't know where my wallet is, so I can't even get out his card and look it up.
See, this is a thing that I
No.
liked about Murph was that everybody was kind of mixed together.
Yes, which is what they're going to be doing for Smurf 26, apparently. And
Yes, yeah. At least that's what they
then-
announced at
then-
the banquet.
yes, and 3D print, and yeah, well, 3D Printopia 26 will be a bit more amalgamated with the smaller creators.
I think
being
that'll
mixed
make
in
it
with
easier
this.
for me to check out more of the convention. Because, like, Murph, you just walk up and down the rows, whereas you have to kind of walk upstairs for the people that do the other stuff. Last year, somebody had a Evangelion Voron, and I thought that was super cool. I didn't see any builds that, like, stuck out to me, which is not to say there weren't any cool ones. Again, I've been doing this game for a few years now, so a lot of it I've seen. So this is not to say
Yeah.
that there wasn't any. It wasn't that there wasn't cool stuff. It's just like big advancements in the community kind of go in spurts, where we're kind of
Maybe
at the
I feel the same way.
like tool changers blew me away, but now everybody has a stealth changer, and so it's like,
Yeah.
once that Bondtech thing gets out, that might be really cool. But like, I'm always
Dude,
more
we're in the
interested
same boat.
in. I'm always more interested in what people can make with a 3D printer rather than the printer itself. No shade towards
That's why.
the Print-a-Block printer. I think it's very fantastic
Well-
because it's a hybrid
but-
of both.
It was
Well-
a good way for a recreator to bring Doug over. Like, we were finally able to sponsor, just like we had you at our booth last year too, and prior to that we had this guy, Dr. Mason, and so this year it was Doug, and it's nice that, the rep way is to be able to host each other amongst, like, someone else's new up and coming thing might not be known, but like for that, for me and Print-a-Block printers, I'm like, yo, this is rep. Like, this needs to get everywhere. And so it was nice getting and helping Doug. Doug did the majority of the work getting himself there as well, but like Ace, it takes a sponsor or two to get us to where we need to go.
Yeah.
And I think just, again, like, the Print-a-Block printer is rep wrap, and the fact that you can print out stuff from your sample rolls from the show you went to and think like, oh, I can take all those samples from Printopia and go home and literally print up that Print-a-Block printer and then use that to 3D print with. I know I struggled with. Sorry, Doug. Let me just get this out. I struggled with several people showing up and being like, "What's new? What's new?" And if I didn't say a kit, a lot of people would have been like, "Cool, I saw you last year, bye." But the fact that we had a kit, that was our new thing this year, along as well being able to say, like, go check out Print-a-Block, and that extends it to Professor and, again, Doug's adventure to Smurf. So, Doug,
Yeah.
shut up.
Yeah.
The thing I was about to say was the build that I think I'm going to be running with and pushing based around the Prusa mini bed and NEMA 17s is around 2.5 kilos of filament. And of that, you only need, say,
It's
to be
so
safe,
interesting to hear
20.
the
25
British
grams
versus the regular
for-
English. Kilos. Sorry, keep going. I'm setting up for later. I'm not just making fun of you.
Bit of both. Yes, of that 2.5 kilos, only 25, 30 grams of that needs to be a specialty filament like pultruded PET for the hot end mount. And even then, if you don't have a recreator, it still works with PETG.
Yeah.
And how many PETG samples did you pick up?
I actually didn't pick up any because I don't do too much
Oh.
PETG printing. But you could. There were print kits had a bucket of sample spools, actually pretty
Yep.
meaty sample spools, and they were like 10 for $10 or something like that. And I was so tempted
Yeah.
to fill up on PETG samples, but I don't print enough in PETG for that to be a worthwhile investment for me. But yeah, absolutely, you're correct. That I mean, I grab a ton of samples for the channel, so there's a very particular reason why I grab what I grab. But if you were looking to grab materials for a print-to-block printer, you're right. If you went to a rep, you could probably be able to scrounge. You'd probably be able to scrounge around to get a printer-block printer's worth of material at one of these conventions.
Yes. And the only downside is there are a few big prints, but even then, just make sure you're sat with your filament runout sensor.
Well, another thing is
Or
a
if you
lot
go
of
on-
these conventions have cheaper filament. Like the booth that was next to Polar Filament, I don't remember their name. They were selling rolls of ABS and PETG for like $12 a piece, and PLA
New
was even
makers.
cheaper. New makers, yeah, they were selling their filament for like rock bottom. And at 2023, East Coast Rep, Printed Solid had their rolls for rock bottom prices. So even if you can't get the sample spools, a lot of these companies have like really, really cheap rolls at the event. So, you know, if there was a bigger part, you could print it with a real roll instead
Yeah.
of a sample. But things like the bamboo
Very
do
cool.
make that really nice, like the AMS. So I will give one piece of credit to the A1 that system is good. So keep going about 3D Printopia, unless this is where you wanted to move into talking just generally about America.
I don't have a lot to say about America.
Oh no!
Oh my God.
I
didn't see-
do. I was talking to Zombie this
Hmm.
morning. I was prepping. I was like, "There's so many things that Doug said that I was like, I can't wait to bring that up on stream."
I mean, dude,
Uh,
I went there for a convention and I saw a convention.
Sure.
Yeah, fair
I
enough.
also went there to torture you for a couple of days, so I think I win.
I
Fair enough.
I loved our dinner after Printopia on Sunday. I could
Oh
not
no!
I could not get Doug to stop talking to our waitress, and I just wanted to eat, and I felt like the jerk at the table where I'm like, yo, the waitress can come back, but I'm hungry.
That's
Dude,
so
that
funny.
was you. That was you chatting to the waitress constantly. In fact, no, B was talking quite a bit.
Ladies, have your fight later. So, there were two things that you said that I was like, I have to bring these up when we stream, that I thought was so hilarious.
No.
One,
Ranch.
I said it to Zombie before I left. I'm like, put a nickel in the jar every time Dreams brings up, oh, everything tastes like sugar here. Everything's so sugary.
Oh, shut
and
up!
and I actually have a graph, and I'm gonna send it to you. I showed it to Zombie already,
Oh,
but
no.
I have a graph that shows comparisons of bread in the different countries, and it shows categorically that American bread has less added sugar than other countries. And it looked at like Australia, the
Whoa.
UK,
Ooh.
and stuff like that.
Hold on a second.
I will have
Hold
to
on.
show you that graph, because I was like, he is gonna come over here and he's gonna be like, oh, the bread is so sugary, and the Haribo gummies are made with high fructose corn syrup and sugar instead of, what did you say it
Wait.
was made with?
Love.
Like some like organic something.
Shut up. It wasn't. It was not the bread that was sweet.
You said that in the video. I have you on camera saying that. You're like, the bread is sweet. The breading for the chicken is sweet.
No. We discerned the fact that it wasn't the breading itself that was sweet. It was the chicken.
All right, that's the
Legit,
Arby. That's the
probably.
Arby specifically. But
Doug,
yeah,
we just put sugar on everything.
yeah, I was like, I don't know why people have this opinion, because I go to other countries and I eat the stuff there, and I don't get this hint that it's less sugary. It just tastes like my one thing when I was in the UK for a little bit, well, I shouldn't say UK because I know for an actual UK person, I was in Scotland, and that's not technically the UK. That's Scotland. But anyway,
Still part of the United Kingdom.
see, that's what it depends on who you
Yeah.
ask. Anyway, because some people are like, well, technically there's Great Britain, Ireland, and Scotland, and they're separate. But anyway, so when I had the food in Scotland, it tasted the same. It just tasted more bland. It didn't taste like it just like I had a burger, and the burger was really like good. It tasted like high quality
What?
meat. It just had no flavor
That's
to
how
it.
that's how I felt when I went to Paris, and I was just like, oh my god, because there's no high fructose corn syrup in everything.
No, it's the and pardon me, I got to make this joke, but you guys colonized the world for spicy. Oh, hold on, we're disconnected. Okay, we're reconnected.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Sorry. I don't know what happened. Glitch in the internet. The UK is coming to get me for making that comment. Okay. So the other thing that you said that I thought was hilarious because I mentioned it to Zombie before we left, before we went to 3D Printopia, and it came up and I like Soyjack like pointed at the screen and went, "He said it!" But you made a comment about how the soap here is so much more concentrated than in the UK. And I was like, no way! I just saw that on TikTok like a few days ago. People on TikTok were fighting with people from Europe in general, but the UK specifically, because they say that when you clean your dishes, you scrub them and then you just let them sit with the soap still on them. You don't scrub the soap off of the dishes.
Okay. The specifics for
Real.
this. Are you ready?
Yes,
Oh my God, you
I'm
guys,
ready.
I hurt.
Okay.
I miss you,
On-
Doug.
On the way from the airport to the hotel,
Uh-huh.
myself, Rob, and John, we pulled into a McDonald's. I made use of the facilities. and
Oh,
like
is
a
this the
good
story
human,
about the
I
McDonald's?
washed my hands. I'm not going to go into that section of the story of McDonald's.
Okay, all right.
Because
Fair
that's
enough. That
not for
might
the
not
stream.
be stream appropriate.
No, that's not stream appropriate. Hence why I said I used the facilities and made sure I washed my hands.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
got the food, and I go to take a bite of the food, and there was just something off about the burger. Like I could not tell.
You're like, oh, it's too
because
sugary.
No,
No, keep going.
not
Keep
that
going.
at all.
Keep going.
Right? I take it. I don't know if it's just me, but I take when I go to take a bite. Occasionally you're breathing in as you go to take a bite.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell if what touched my tongue was bread or cheese or something else. Right? And
Yeah.
it turns out that when I ate a chicken nugget, and again, I couldn't tell if what touched my tongue was breading or cheese.
Or cheese.
But
It was the fucking hand soap. Sorry for the swearing, but it was the hand soap. The hand soap overpowered a McDonald's cheeseburger. It overpowered a chicken nugget.
You've never you didn't grow up singing the alphabet song while you wash your hands?
Oh, I did that.
There's
I
no
washed my
way.
hands
There's
like
no
a good
way.
Human. I washed my hands like a good human.
Wait a minute. Okay,
Okay.
this might not be the okay, hold on. What do your hands smell like after you wash your hands?
A bit soapy.
Okay. All right. So I
You put the
I've
soap on, you make sure
I've
you go
never
between the
heard this
fingers, you go for the
complaint ever.
fingernails.
So this is so interesting to me. I'm sorry for people that are here for 3D printing talk. I'm so interested in
We're
how
talking about
the
over-
concentration
Washing
of soap.
your hands.
over-scented hand soap.
Because like that now my science brain is like, oh, does it have to do with the hardness of the water, and maybe we have harder water in the United States? But I don't think that's true, because
This guy probably just got like
most of the
over
infrastructure in the
sensitive
UK is
hand.
very old, because it's an older country than the United States is. So it would make more sense for you guys to have harder water than us. So like
You still have some water systems that flow through trees. Like hollowed out trees are your pipes.
don't get me started on British infrastructure.
I mean,
Yo,
we
yeah,
just have lead.
Stop
Lead.
it, I'm pretty sure that
So,
all right,
the
back to RVs.
we just had our kitchen sink repaired, and my mom was just like, "Yeah, while you were gone, those pipes were horrible." I'm like, "Okay, thanks for letting us know that my house is rotting."
Oh man. So yeah, so the soap
So, yes,
was
hobbies.
overpowering, and he realized he's like,
Yes.
well, I'm in the United States, I can never wash my hands. That's why I never shook his hand. So if anybody shook
No,
Dreams'
but you-
hand at the convention, just
shut
know
up.
he wasn't washing
I
his
am
hands.
I am a good human. This is what I keep telling myself. I'm a good human.
I keep telling myself.
I'm a good human. I have hygiene.
Yes, yes. So
What's hygiene?
those two comments were very funny to me. Aside from that, I this is gonna sound like weird. I apologize. I had an amazing time with you, Dreams. It was great to finally meet you in person, and we got to bum around the convention for a little bit. I mentioned it earlier, but don't think you're the reason that I got the Gloop sponsorship, and
Yeah.
I also have some other stuff to show off that we'll talk about later as we get on.
Yes. But do you know what you don't have to show off?
Yeah.
A big tree tech screen.
Oh, I can't wait to talk about that. So to put a button on our I have Big Tree Tech as like a whole like
I've never
its own
seen
thing.
you ace so I think I could say butthurt.
I'm not even butthurt that I lost, because I've never won a contest before. It's always just I have really good connections, and somebody's like
Yeah.
like Protopasta, where they gave me that filament. Like that's the kind of stuff that happens to me, is like I'm a good person,
Like,
and people like
me
You know what else
talk
has
to
good
me.
connections?
But like I've never won a contest before, so I knew I wasn't gonna win it. The part that bothered me is I could have stopped Dreams from also winning, but because I was too nice, he won, and I'm like, God damn it!
that comes back to you tenfold, you know.
It does, and
best
that's
bit,
gonna be
though-
how I want to end the stream off, because that's the biggest, coolest part that I'm like shaking. I'm so excited about, and I think a few of the viewers might actually already know. If you're here, shout out to you. You know who you are. But to wrap up the RB stuff before we go back to 3D Printopia, the full review will I have the footage from
Yes.
the actual review during or before and during, and that's going to go into the video. And then right now we can kind of talk a little bit about our afters. So immediately after I stopped filming, I started to feel sick in my stomach. What's sad is I think I liked the chicken less than I liked the roast beef, and the roast beef is like gross, but the actual sauce that's on the roast beef sandwich was pretty good. The meat is like,
Oh yeah.
how do I say this without being rude? It reminded me of the burgers that I ate in the UK. It had very little flavor to it. It just kind of was like meat, you know?
So you could say it was mediocre.
It was mediocre. I'm so using that joke in the final video.
Doug, can I tell you we put the UK Doug we
All right,
put
so we're
UK
about to-
dad joke as our GPS. going back home, and it's I was like, oh, it's just like having Doug in the car.
Oh no.
Dad jokes.
Sorry, I was adjusting my microphone because it decided to fall.
So the chicken was worse than I remember somehow. I don't know how you can get worse than how I feel about Arby's. but the chicken was worse than I remember. Their buffalo sauce is kind of mid. It just tastes like a pretty average buffalo sauce. So I'm really into describing my food, so I hope you guys enjoy this. But I like a little bit of a thicker buffalo sauce. I think if it's too watery, it just doesn't feel right on the chicken. And I'm a bigger fan of the flavor, not the heat. I like the heat, obviously, but I like when something tastes better rather than just makes my mouth hurt. And it wasn't hot, but it tasted more like heat and chemical than it tasted like flavor. So I was disappointed with the buffalo sauce. Their ranch sauce
always
was
good when
awesome. Oh, sorry. What's up?
Food tastes like chemicals.
Yeah, yeah. I usually don't like that description because I feel like people use it too often. I use it
But
sparingly.
everything's made of chemicals.
But yeah, no. And their ranch I don't like at all.
Why does this taste like hand soap?
Why does everything in the United States taste like hand soap? So this will, I think, lead really well into how Dreams felt about Arby's. But I think you know what? I'm going to agree with you. I feel like the ranch tasted a bit sweet. It was not. It tasted like fast food ranch. I do not like fast food ranch, and I said this in the video too. You'll hear me say this again. Fast food ranch just boils my blood. It is not good, and it tastes kind of sweet. So I will concede on that point. You are right there. But we do make good ranch in America. There's this bottle kind. I'll put it in the footage over this right here
The
that
apple
I'm talking
turnover.
about. I didn't get to try the apple turnover. How was it?
Nope. You didn't.
No.
I ate it on the plane.
Oh, okay. So wow, it lasted
So it was
a few
day
days.
old.
Yeah, nothing
Yes,
like day
it was
old
so well
Arby's dessert.
preserved. It's so well preserved.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Shut up. I'm not going to go there.
Oh my gosh,
What
all
I'm
the
gonna say
chemicals in it. Let it last forever in my backpack.
And you know what? It was fine.
Yeah.
There was nothing to write home about. You know, perfectly acceptable, but like, meh. We have
That's Arby's.
a pseudo bakery chain in the UK called Greg's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was nothing compared to that.
Called Doug's.
No,
What's up?
Called Greg's with three
Greg.
G's.
H.H. Greg?
Three G's.
That's such like just like an American like franchise over in the middle of your spot. Just like it's Greg's.
Yeah. So I call it a pseudo bakery because they finish baking things in store. So everything's part baked, and then when it gets there, they finish cooking it. So it gives that smell of.
I didn't get to
fresh
go to a
foods.
Greg's, but I did get to go to a Krispy Kreme, and Krispy Kreme is really good.
I thought Krispy Kreme was an American thing.
It probably is, because
Oh,
that's where
Josh.
Uh-oh.
Josh.
Here's that nice voice I miss.
Josh. Tell Ace about Dunkin' Donuts.
Dude, Dunkin' Donuts is the worst. Please don't talk to me about that.
Tell Ace about our
Dunks,
adventure
man.
to Dunkin' Donuts.
Dunks, you can't tell an asshole that Dunks is the worst guy.
No,
what was wrong with our Dunks? Oh, so initially, I'm over here like, yeah, let's rely on the GPS, right? So like, at first we put it in, and I'm like, that looks like maybe we're going to one that we don't want to go to, but we rolled with it anyway. And then we get there, and
Lies.
they're closed. I don't even know if they're like open. Like they're still looks like they're kind of.
Same thing happened with the
putting it together, I
Wendy's.
don't know.
There's a lot of places over in Maryland that are either like completely gone now or under construction, and you can't go in there and get stuff.
So like, but prior to that, this guy's like, oh, I'm pretty sure we passed one on the way that we've been going to the convention hall. Just go buy it. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, Doug. We just go to the other one, and then literally end up at that exact one that like, yeah, shut up.
Right? But it's not just that bit though. It's not just that bit though, Josh. You missed the turning. So what should have been a 5-minute, oh, it's closed, turned into a 15-minute, oh, it's closed.
Hate Maryland.
hmm And again, just saying, if you'd listened to me in the first place, we could have got to Dunkin' Donuts a lot quicker. But no, you're like, no, let's go to this one, dude. We passed
Yeah,
it
can I
4
can I
times.
can I tell you that's me and traveling in a nutshell. I think I've already mentioned how the last exit going home from New Jersey Turnpike is literally the Bermuda Triangle for me, where I'm like, that's why I drive 4 hours out of my way, where I'm like,
Oh man, do
this
not
should
drive
be a
into New
6 hour
York. My
drive.
God,
Yeah, no, that's
driving into New
I
York
don't.
is puts hair on your chest. That is an interesting experience. That's like the
That is
infrastructure
probably
final boss.
that is literally yes. That is I've never heard it in quite such that aspect, but yes, it will put hair on your chest.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't want hair on my chest. I would rather
I just want to have a
I
nice
would
drive.
rather take yes, and literally so we plotted out every McDonald's on a road that had no tolls, and I swear it brought us on the longest back road old person drive I've ever been on in my life, where we were like, wow, the trees are amazing. This is such a nice, like, quaint drive.
Yeah.
It it felt very old man, Ace.
Well, so the final things that I wanted to say, Dunkin' Donuts. I think there's a reason why they're called Dunkin' now instead of Dunkin' Donuts. Their donuts are the worst thing about them. Their donuts are always stale, always crappy. They're way too overpriced. It is now like $3 a donut to go to Dunkin' Donuts,
Yeah.
and I don't drink coffee, so I can't speak to that. I really liked their culottes back in the day, but I don't even think I don't even know if they make those anymore. That is why
Your end slide is wrong.
dude, I do not like. Wait, what?
Your end slide is wrong.
What do you mean my end slide is wrong?
The gang takes on 3D Printopia 2024.
Oh no, they're gonna
Put it in
find.
the
They're gonna
past.
find out that I copied this from last year. Oh no. It's fixed now. It's fixed now. So, I am almost out of time, so I want to start getting towards the main meat of the video. Now that you're here, and now we've talked about our big things here.
The Arby's meat. No,
Yeah.
we can get to the main meat.
Yeah, we finished with the
We got
Arby's
the
meat. Now we
roast
can talk
beef.
about the real meat.
Maybe
So,
I should go to Arby's today.
dude,
Yeah, I know. I'm hungry now.
Arby's never
have some
sponsored
have
us.
some self-respect for yourself. My gosh.
Arby's didn't sponsor this.
Oh,
Oh man!
maybe I
If
could go to
Arby's had
Five Guys
sponsored this, and
instead.
I'm talking the way that I'm talking, I think they would ask for their money back. So,
No.
so next to the Recreator booth was Princeps. Next to Princeps was Amelin. Amelin makes really interesting silk PLA filaments. That's, I think, their like main niche in the market. They are very expensive because they come in smaller rolls because they're like specialty filaments. So I don't get to try them out very often, but they gave me a ton of sample spools. So this one, it looks like just an average gold, but it actually is a blue, and it is a co-extrusion. I can't wait to see how this prints. That's going to make a great frog. Then this one, it looks like it's silk purple, but you flip it over and it's a beautiful gold, and that transition is stunning in person. In a bag on a 240p webcam, it doesn't look that great, but
That's cool.
and then this one is also color changing. It goes from black to purple, and this purple is like really cool. It's almost like a magenta. So these will you'll be seeing those in as frogs down the road.
Those two combined would be awesome.
The black, purple, and the blue
Like
gold.
if you took those two sets and turned them into something like a couple pieces that merge into each other, those would be awesome.
Oh, it's very cool. So then Josh gave me a ticket for the filament exchange, and I was able to get a roll of Sparta 3D. I went a little boring. I just got skin PLA plus, but this looked to be
I was gonna get it, man.
This looked like a really solid roll, and I use a lot of skin for my Etsy shop, but also for the channel.
I was gonna get it for Captain Recreator's skin because it was just perfect, but I ended up getting that. Like I said, that.
Gotcha.
Oh my God, Stellar.
Oh.
That exchange was fun. I think that was actually like one of the things that I was excited for mostly. So it was fun to be able to share that with you guys.
Well, share it with you guys. It was share it with me because right as I was leaving the convention, Dreams was like, "I want to gift you my rolls because I want you to make them into frog videos." So this was considered one roll of filament. It is 3. I'm going to try and move them back and forth so you can see. They look way better in person.
Guy. You got Doug sponsoring you now.
Yeah, right. Well, that's what he needed to pay me back for putting his logo on my croc. But this is a red, a green, a purple, and a pink. What's up?
Try counting again. How many's there?
4.
How many did you say?
I said 4.
Wow.
You said 3.
I said 3.
You said 3.
There's 4 here.
Yes, but you said 3.
Okay, whatever. Anyway, there's 4 here. So these are different silks. These will all be frogs, and then we'll see what they make. I did say that I was probably going to try and make a printer block out of them, but
Doug, you've been a little obsessive with correcting my numbers lately. Are you having a number obsession?
I can't count
There's
the
4.
times I've
You
corrected
said
you.
3.
So, thank you to Dreams for that. Now I want to move into the biggest. Yes, I am out of stuff to show off. Now I want to talk about the biggest part of the event, which is Big Tree Tech. So I don't know who from Big Tree Tech is watching, or I'm going to act like the entire company is watching right now, and I'm going to be extra cordial when I speak here. But I've used Big Tree Tech products for a while. Those of you that watched my Ender 3 restoration video, that was the first time that I talked about it on my channel. But my first videos were made because I swapped out the board on my Ender Pro for the SKR Mini and was able to hook up an Octoprint setup to it. So I don't know if I would be here if it weren't for some of their boards. So they definitely have been a big person on the channel. I got to talking with some people at Big Tree Tech, mainly because Dreams has some connection with some people at the Big Tree Tech group and was, picking their ear about some stuff for Smurf. So if you're going to Smurf, you better stop by Dreams' table and see all the stuff that he was doing there. First, I'm going to show off the stuff that they were giving out generally at the table. Then you got to tell the story about what happened to us, Dreams, and then I can talk about my thing, and that'll be kind of where I end for the day because I'm just so excited. I think you can hear it in my voice, but I'm shaking. I'm so excited. So they were actually giving out cryo grip beds, but like little keychain versions of them. So I want to try and make a printer that uses these because these are so fun.
Me first.
I got the orange and the blue one, so don't tell them I grabbed 2 of them.
Ready to go.
Yep, I've got one.
Yeah.
I've got some rails.
If you're
I'm
here,
gonna do it.
Ace got 2 of them.
What's up?
You're like, oh, I hope the entire team's watching, but then you're like, oh, don't tell them that I bought.
See, it's a fun game I play. It's like, don't tell them that I've got fast fingers, so if I see something on the table I want, I grab it.
So like Ace, I literally have I'll call it a toy printer. That's what size is that? Is that like 50 by 50 millimeters?
If that, this might be even smaller than that.
Yeah, I think I have a printer that's like 80 by 80 millimeter bed.
That's crazy. I didn't even know they went that small. That's bigger than most of my nozzles.
It's cute. I'll leave it at that. You'll
Yeah,
get a block off of it.
it's very cute. So, Dreams, do you want to tell him the story, or should I tell him the story of what happened with us at the giveaway?
So, I mean, we already hinted to it earlier in the stream, but
Yeah.
yeah, Ace seems to say that he is not a very lucky individual.
Well, no, I'm very lucky. I just don't win contests.
Okay, you're not a
Well,
bountiful contest
look
winner.
at the chat right now. Look at how many wonderful people I have. I'm so lucky to be surrounded by.
Yes, yes,
Especially
incredibly
me.
lucky.
Did you say I'm
We
leaving?
don't, we don't, we
No,
don't talk about zombie.
I said especially me.
Oh, especially
We,
me.
we don't talk about zombie. Um, so yes. Ace encouraged me to enter the one of the giveaways that Big Tree Tech was doing. They did
Not just
two over the
encouraged
course.
you. I was like, I'm gonna go to the Big Tree Tech giveaway, and you're like, I don't know, I don't really want to enter it, and I'm like, no, at least just walk over with me. And I think I had to convince you like 3 or 4 times just to enter. I was like, all you have to do is put in your
Yeah.
email. Come on. You're like, no,
Yes,
no,
it
no.
was which email I had to use, and then I had to tether my primary phone from my eSIM burner phone, so that I had a data connection, so that I could actually enter the contest. Because part of the thing was you had to show them the email that you received that, you said that you registered. So I had to do all of that stuff, all the preamble, the administrative nonsense. So yes, I entered the contest, and while they were warming up for the contest, we go over to Luke at Big Tree Tech and just have a little chat. I'm like, he apologizes that it takes him a while to respond to things because he gets flooded. I love Luke. I really do love Luke.
He seems
He's
like a great
absolutely
guy.
brilliant. Yes,
If
he
he's
is, and
watching,
that's
he
it.
seemed like a great guy, man. And I can't wait
That's the
to.
problem.
I'm gonna email him about that published work that he and I were talking about.
Ooh.
Yeah, he talked to
So
me about
yes,
things with cleavage points, and I was like, all right, that's a little bit outside of everybody
Yep.
else's expertise.
Yep. So yes, he that's his problem. He's too nice. He's a genuine soul. So
Hmm.
yes, we're talking to him, and then he starts doing the giveaway. Having to reshout names, redraw names because people had entered and walked away. Fools. And so on and so forth. And then suddenly he's like, he's calling out names and email addresses, and he just does the next giveaway, the next piece that he's giving away, and then he just turns around and says, "It's you."
He
Just
points at
straight
you.
up, "It's you," and
Yeah.
just points at me. I'm like, "What did I do?" And he's like, "I'm not going to read your email address." I'm like, "Oh," and then I get given this vented. I can't remember the exact SKU of the product, but it's a vented bamboo hot end cover.
Yes, I was
And
worried you weren't gonna talk about that. So they were giving out mainly bamboo products, and a lot of the people in the
yes,
audience were like, "We don't buy bamboo products from you guys. We buy stuff for our like Vorons and shit." And they're like, "Oh, sorry." So they hand him. I'll look up the official name for it, but they hand him. It's their like lightweight,
skeletonized.
multicolor, hot end cover for the X1 series. And he's like, I can't use this. Like, I don't have any bamboo machines. And that's where you could pick back up. Sorry.
Yeah. So then they give me a TFT 5, a TFT 50. I don't have it next to me. I can't remember what it is. It's
It's a
buried
screen.
underneath all the other stuff.
Just tell him like generally what it is. I don't know what any of the.
It's
It's
a
a
nice,
screen.
lovely screen
Is
that
it
just so
touchscreen?
happens to be yes. It just so happens to be the screen that is used for the Baby Belt Pro.
What the hell? I didn't know it was a. Hmm.
Uh-huh.
I could have
So guess
used
what
that
I'm
to
going to
build.
be making?
Dog, I am in the middle of making a baby belt. That would have helped me out so much. I'd actually have all the pieces for it now, aside from the rails. Gosh.
Hey, guess what I've got?
What?
Guess what I've got? I've got the rails.
It's like that. It's like that Christmas
Oh.
story where it's like I sold my hair to get a case for your harmonica, and you sold your harmonica to get me a brush for my hair. That's what happened with us. It's like I have everything but the rails, and you have just the rails. It's like between the two of us, we have a whole printer.
No,
out
no,
to-
I've got more than that because I traded the printer block printer.
Oh, with
I traded it with Rob.
for a
Oh, really?
baby belt.
I didn't
Yes.
know that side of the story.
Yes, I traded the printer block printer with Rob so that he Rob of Baby Belt fame, well, Princeps and Baby Belt fame. So I traded it with him for the majority of the components that are required for a Baby Belt Pro.
Gotcha.
So one of those is going to be made.
Yeah,
And
hit up princeps.com right now. LDO kits
Yep.
are for sale.
That's sick. I gotta look into that.
And-
See if I could do that.
and I'm yes. Alongside that, and this one's for Josh. If Josh, you want to just have a look at the chat for a moment. I'm sorry, chats, you won't be able to see this. I'm about to go on camera. Haha.
Are you putting it in the rep
The camera
thing?
even
or-
works.
Oh.
No.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Hey, Josh,
Yeah. Okay, there we go.
do you recognize this?
Yeah. Oh, you got the first one. There we go. That's fun. Okay,
What
guys.
am I
so,
holding up, chat? Josh?
Doug has my very first baby belt. Like
Mm-hmm.
before Rob went to Baby Belt Pro, he started with just Baby Belt. So those, correct me, Doug, if I'm wrong, are 12 BYZ motors.
28 BYJ.
Thank you
Horrible,
for-
horrible motors.
As everybody knows, I have dyslexia, so thank you for the correction. But yeah, so eventually, everybody told Rob, get away from those and give us what we want. We want the pro version. So, Doug, I think that's really appropriate for you to have, being one that I
Nice.
owned as well as.
Oh, it's got the
one
TMNT
that-
thing on it. I know.
Yep.
I
Yep.
see that.
It's I'm a big fan of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That goes back to 1980s for me. But again, Doug, I think that's appropriate for where your printers have come and are, and your mentality overall. So, yeah, guy, you're keeping it rep.
Here is
me,
for
guy.
here is for chat. By the way, I took a screenshot.
You're my
so.
big dreamer. Again, you guys, I super appreciate that I was able to do awards this year with LDO, and so, Ace, I'm glad that you got one, and I was able to get Doug one as well, and y'all really.
Oh,
amped up
should
my
we talk about that? Because
experience this
I've
year.
got mine right here. Actually.
You could toss it out there, and it's official. And again, we did 25 of them.
So I was nominated
Jason-
for.
Jason threw me one this year as well, which was just super exciting to be able to get one as well. But yeah, you can talk yours.
Pro YouTuber award. So guys, now I'm not a content creator. I'm a YouTuber. So I can
Yeah, there you go,
actually
buddy.
officially be called a YouTuber, which is exciting. I told everybody, I was like, guys, look, now I'm a YouTuber. Now I'm not a content creator or a TikToker. I'm a YouTuber.
You can blame yourself on fanboying on me, dude. So I mean,
Yeah.
I consider you a YouTuber. You made that experience something that I never thought that I'd experienced. And Doug, I hope you got something similar this weekend, if not from myself, but from the crew at the festival to begin with. It's, I think, and again, Ace, your cover and everything, you are with Recreator doing fun stuff like the colorization and just supporting us overall. And Doug, your ability to mod and bring our brand to your brand and your project. I appreciate the two of you guys, and that's, for me, that's the rep ethos.
Well, I'm glad that you
y'all
brought
are
that up because
right there,
that leads into my last two things because I had another idea for Recreator that I haven't gotten a chance to do because I lack the parts and Big Tree Tech supplied the parts, so I will now
go.
start working on the next video. And that the next recreator video, I should say.
Is your recreator gonna fill the void between MK7 and MK9?
What do you mean by that? You mean you want me to redesign the recreator?
All right, so I just finished the MK7 version, which I hope to
Ooh.
release the
Ooh.
last quarter of this year. The joke
It's
for
an
the last
exclusive.
2 years has been that Doug has claimed MK9, which is going to be a Printopia block version of Bolt.
I'm so shocked that it's gonna have something to do with Printoblock.
So if you have some sort of iteration in between MK7 and MK9, we can claim you with MK8.
I mean,
Well,
Ace,
maybe,
we
maybe.
had the conversation with Big Tree Tech.
Yeah, I
There
can't.
is.
We can't talk about that. That was there's not enough being said there. Also, I don't want somebody to steal my idea, and by my idea I mean the ideas that us three talked about. But that was an interesting conversation. It would be very, very funny. I don't think I'd want to make that like. I don't know if I'd want to make that a full like version, but it would be funny as like a joke. Maybe I could jokingly make that as a Mark 8. Am I getting it right? Yeah, the Mark
Yep.
8.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean I could make that as like the joke April Fool's Mark 8. That would be
Again, so that-
hilarious.
well, so again, Positron just kind of did that with one as far as
With the Bruce
their,
Wire.
thank you there, Dougie, with that interjection. And yeah, so again, MK9 with the printer block is kind of a joke that I think we're gonna run into itself eventually, right? So
Sounds
I mean,
good.
that's-
Sounds
that's
good
how
to
the
me.
Arby's video happened.
Yeah, I mean that's how the Arby's video happened.
that's
All
how
right,
dreams
so
make.
oh sorry.
But
What? Oh, so moving on to the final things, because I'm running low on time, and I wanna give everybody a chance to give their like kind of final complete thoughts. So Big Tree Tech have agreed to. Well, they already did. I'm holding it in my hand. And again, I don't know if I'm supposed to show it off, but if they say anything, hopefully they're not too mad. But they agreed to sponsor not just one, but 2 separate videos. So when these come out, they will be amazing. So I told you guys to remember the shoes that were tan in the beginning. So that was made with a special filament called Moreflex. So they actually provided me with an entire roll of this Moreflex and said, go crazy and make some cool shoes. So I am telling you now that there will be a follow-up video to the 3D printed Crocs video. And I will be doing more shoes, because the big conclusion that I had from that video was that it was fun to print Crocs, but Crocs didn't really lend themselves great to 3D printing. And I really wanted to print shoes that could only be made with 3D printing. So I have one that I've already found, and I would really like to find one that works really especially good for this Moreflex. So I'm still looking at a shoe for the Moreflex, but I've already found a shoe to make a follow-up for the video with just regular TPU. So my current projection is that the video will have 2 different shoes in it, but regardless, the update, the sequel to the shoe video will use Big Tree Tech's Moreflex. What material is it? It's not PLA, it's not TPU. I don't know what it is. They're Moreflex filament in this lovely shade of purple. I think this is super cool. So what I do know about the Moreflex that makes it super cool is that the Moreflex is a foamed filament. So when it prints, sometimes when you don't dry your filament, it the water inside boils out and it pops, and you'll hear it go while it's printing. That is the water boiling out. This actually has that as part of the way that it's built. And so that boiling, from what I've heard, is actually what causes the foam. Now, some people have told me that some blends actually use carbon dioxide as the boiling, chemical. I don't know, and if I'm wrong, I didn't have enough time to research it before the thing because the video is still in concept phase. I haven't even started working on it. You're looking at the filament right here. I have not started working on it. So I cannot say how excited I am enough, and thank you so much to Big Tree Tech for that. Now that's one video, and I said they're technically sponsoring two. So at the end of my colorizer video, I mentioned how I had really wanted to try out multicolor, but the only multicolor system I currently own is the Bamboo A1 with the AMS, and the Bamboo series has pretty shitty extruders. They don't grip filament that great, which is why Big Tree Tech developed this hardened gear set. I think they call it the Panda Claw. Yes, the Panda Claw. And they provided the Panda Claw and said, go crazy. So this Panda Claw will most likely be in the shoe video. They wanted me to try out printing TPU on the A1 with their Panda Claw, but it also will probably be in a follow-up to the colorizer video. I'm not exactly sure how that will turn out because, again, these are all in concept. So if they completely change, that is just the nature of videos sometimes. But I wanted to make sure that I was very forward about how excited I am with Big Tree Tech, and they are phenomenal. And I know that at least some of them watch my videos, so I wanted to make sure that I shouted them out as awesome people. They genuinely are some of the nicest people that I've worked with at these conventions. They were so nice to me and just so genuine.
They do a lot to enable the community to do the things.
They really
Yeah,
do.
they're-
It's kind of
they're
hard.
on
It's like
point with,
picking your favorite kid because Polymaker does a lot to really buff up
Sure.
the community, and Prusa does so much. But when I talked with the Big Tree Tech people, they were just so genuine, and
Yep.
they didn't really make it about business, which is why it was so exciting to
Yep.
work on this. It was more so just like, we want to see you make cool stuff. It wasn't like we
Yep.
want to see you sell product, which is really freeing as a creator because I felt like I actually got to look at this as, okay, I want to pitch to you an idea. I don't even have a video yet. Like the other companies that I pitched to, I pitched them a video that I started working on. But to Big Tree Tech, I was like, I have this idea. And they were like, honestly, the idea is good enough for us. And that
Yeah, and
is
goes
just
the
like
distance.
so cool. I want to go like above and beyond. I think I've already made a cart of stuff to buy from Big Tree Tech. Sadly, their sale just ended, so I'm gonna have to buy it at MSRP. But you know, so yeah, that is the news that is news for sponsors. The rest of the sponsor stuff is behind the scenes, so you'll find out about that when the video comes out. But I think I talked to a total of 5 companies that were interested in sponsors, so I am really excited. I think 2026 is going to be pretty massive for the channel. I'm not trying to be a sellout, but if this work with Polymaker taught me anything, it's that the sponsors let me take an idea that's a crazy idea and make it realistic. So I'm able to be a lot more ambitious with my videos when they're sponsored, which I think you'll see in the rest of the videos coming out for 2025 because they're way less ambitious than the videos that came out here over the summer because the ones over the summer were sponsored. So I'm going to transition back over to the... There we go. So that is all of the updates that I have. That was... I know we kind of ran through everything pretty quick, but there was just so much cool stuff that... again, this was the convention that I spent the most time talking to people and like following up. So I don't have as much to like physically show because I've already either seen or gotten a lot of the stuff that's like the cool thing. A lot of it was like very personal. Like I was catching up with people that I knew, like catching up with Polymaker or catching up with Hendrix or catching up with Coco Press or stuff like that. So I don't have like stuff to show off until later. But I can tell you this was one of the most personally fulfilling reps I've ever been to. So I don't know how you guys felt about 3D Printopia. Give me your like 3D Printopia end like quick little recap, like in like
Dude,
Couple
VCF was so great this year. I saw a PS3 and it made me feel old.
Thank you, Zombie. Josh, how did you feel?
Again, probably a broken record at this point, but with the senior year, it really did kind of feel like high school or college course where it's like I hit all 4 years and you start, and my thing is my thing is, I for a while I felt like I had imposter syndrome where I didn't know if I fit in, where I fell in. And this year I felt like it was like we finally had our own crew. Like on the back channels, we have our own little server called the Rep Rant, and
Mm-hmm.
I've like collectively the six of us were together throughout the weekend, and it really did finally feel like family. Like everybody talks about it kind of feeling like summer camp, and for me, this was the first year where I didn't want to leave summer camp, and we got Doug over here, and again, like we missed him. Like everybody got a chance to grab Doug, I think, which Doug, hopefully you didn't get overwhelmed, but I know everybody was very appreciative that Doug was over here and got a chance to get a second with Doug. So
Yeah, I can't
again,
say I
glad
would.
that
It would have been the same without you, Dreams. Speaking of Dreams,
Yeah,
how was
yeah, it
your final?
Why did it end so soon?
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, here's what I can say. Instead of, I would rather I leave a meal wanting more than leave a meal
Sure,
feeling satisfied. Because then it's like, what do you have to
sure.
go to next year? So now you have like
Yeah,
it's like now
feel
I know
you.
exactly what I need to do next year, and the next year you're gonna be like, oh, I know exactly what I need to do next year. That's kind of how I felt with this convention. Is Sunday I was like, all right, I'm ready to go home, which is not a great feeling for the end of a convention. When I left Anime
Whoa.
NYC, I was like, oh, I can't, like, I don't want to leave. And that's no shame to you guys. I felt like I knew what
We
to
get it,
expect.
we're
I went
boring.
in with, like, I was very clear about what I wanted to do, and I did everything I wanted to do. So I don't have any, like, regrets of, like, oh, I wish I'd done this or blah, blah, blah. So I'm very
Like
satisfied
you
with my
mentioned though,
convention.
the shows can go three different ways. I like to say again, you're either going there to see your friends and have fun. It's kind of like a vacation. If you've got a project, you want to showcase that project, and sometimes that involves some money. And if you've got a product, you're going to be there marketing your product. And so some people it works out on a financial level as far as their turnout with if they're selling filament or if they're promoting their project, or again from a project to a product. It's just like you mentioned amongst the sponsors, it takes the sponsors to get people there, it takes the sponsors to get the event going, and the makers. So once everybody gets under that roof, it's the rep rap etho, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so that's what makes the show go. There's 3,000 people that went through that weekend. Whether you talked to a vendor or a maker, or like again you got to fanboy out on somebody, everybody appreciates everybody being there. So it really does, like, again, collectively, like, oh my god, it overwhelmed me on so many levels, and I wished we had another one next week.
Yeah, yeah.
Could I get a printer printer in a week?
Could you get a
Probably.
what?
Could I get a printer block printer built in a week? Probably.
I don't know. We'll see. I've got a printer block printer to show you guys how it's done. I was looking at some of those prints and I was like, this printer needs
So I
a
already I'm
wizard's
gonna be
touch.
converting. I'm going to be converting. My whole goal was to convert an Ender 2 back into, an actual open source Ender 2, like little version of that. And then I'm like, well, I just finished this Print-a-Block version over here, and I have all these extra Print-a-Blocks that would be perfect for it. So,
Well,
come on, Ace,
I
join
did get
the
complimented
join the club.
from the guy from Big Tree Tech that you were talking about, Dreams. He did say that my prints were so good, he wanted to use them as an advertisement for the cold plate. So I feel like I can
Your
brag just a little bit.
you can literally start bragging about those Pet One prints that you showed me there, buddy. Those were pretty high
Those were good.
quality.
Well, if this is an advertisement for anybody in the audience, my calibration videos work. I used my
yeah.
calibration videos to calibrate the RPET and to calibrate the TPU
Sure.
and to calibrate the
Sure.
CoPE, and I've gotten like it's not just me bragging or trying to get,
Yeah.
you know, like there are
Hey,
people who are
okay,
like,
Mr. Academia.
so
Yeah, buddy. Using the scientific method on us.
yeah,
Gah.
ew, ew.
Ew,
We want
stop being
things
so
to
smart.
suck. But yeah, that was cool, and I didn't want to bring it up on stream, but because I didn't want to seem like I was bragging. But the amount of people that told me
Yeah,
that
this
my
guy's so
prints were
modest.
good, like I don't like to think of myself as like better than the rest. I just have more experience. But there were people who were like, "This is 3D printed," and I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Really? It's like so good," and I'm like, "Oh, thank you
Yeah.
very much. You know, that means a
Gives
lot."
people hope though, because maybe they've just been like, I don't want to get into this because it just seems like a crap experience, but it really does. Who are you following? Not just who are you following, but who are you getting help from? Who's your guidance? And
Yeah.
I know for me, the rep part of the rep rap ethos is helping each other out, and not just crapping on each other all the time because you're online.
Absolutely. Well, I think that is a perfect note to end off the stream. I want to thank Dreams and Josh for being here for the recap. I don't think I could have gotten
Thanks
to
for
the
having us.
detail that this stream got to if it weren't for you guys. It's also always great to collaborate with friends, and it was great to see Dreams in person because we've talked quite a bit online, and we're
You're
going to
here.
continue to talk after
Yep.
this. And I'm hoping that Dreams, you're able to make it next year because you had talked about your interest in coming next year to 3D Printopia.
I want.
It goes without saying, but I hope Smurf is also good for you. I can't give you anything about whether I'll be there, but I will still be sending my well wishes to anyone that does go to Smurf, and yeah, and for also Zombie, thanks for dropping by and giving us some help
Yeah,
here and there.
Yes,
I'm
thank you,
fine.
Zombie.
All right, so to my guests, I'm going to end it there with you guys. I'm going to do a small wrap up on my channel. I'll be right back, so give me a sec. So, thank you all very much for watching. It genuinely means the world to me to be able to, make content and be a YouTuber. um, we talked about it a little bit here, but I've got some huge videos coming out. The end of my summer saga, as I guess I'll call it. But my 3D printed croc video comes out on Friday. The short for that video actually comes out tomorrow, so please give that as much love as you've ever given anything on my channel love beforehand. I put my heart and soul into this video, so I'm very nervous. I really hope that it goes well. And if it goes well, then that will mean I will be able to do crazier and crazier projects on the channel in the future, which obviously as a content creator, crazier and crazier projects is like the dream goal. So yeah, if I missed talking about you and you met me at 3D Printopia, feel free to leave a comment or a chat or something like that. Besides that, thank you very much to everyone that I met at 3D Printopia or talked to. Like I said, this was one of the most personally fulfilling conventions that I've ever been to. And it just felt so nice and so rewarding. So I can't thank you guys enough. That being said, this is where I am going to end for the day. I will be back next week streaming regular scheduled streams. So be on the lookout for that. That is where I end. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next